Haley took the convention stage and immediately set aside her differences with Trump, offering her strong endorsement. Then she spoke directly to her faithful supporters.
My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him.
Haley said she and Trump agree more than they disagree and claimed that a unified Republican Party is essential for saving the country. Greg Clugston, Milwaukee.
And what can we expect today?
On the third day at the Republican National Convention, the theme shifts to national security and foreign policy. A speech by Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will introduce the vice presidential nominee to fellow Republicans and a wider national audience. President Biden's handling of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the crises in Ukraine and the Middle East will come under fire, and former Trump administration officials will outline what foreign policy would look like if Donald Trump were reelected to a second term. Former Trump rival Nikki Haley.
A strong president doesn't start wars. A strong president prevents wars.
I'm Jennifer King.
Britain's new Labour Party government says it will calm the country's storm-tossed political waters and ease its cost of living crisis. The government setting out its plans for national renewal at the grand state opening of Parliament today. King Charles reading a speech written by the government outlining its legislative agenda. Mayor of Paris has taken a swim in the Seine River, meant to highlight its improved water quality ahead of the upcoming Olympics. On Wall Street, ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures down 130 points. NASDAQ futures off 308 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Authorities in Bangladesh urging universities to close after at least 6 people died in violent protests over the allocation of government jobs.
Student protesters clashed with pro-government student activists and with police, with violence reported around the capital Dhaka, the southeastern city of Chattogram and the northern city of Rangpur. Protesters have been demanding an end to a quota reserve for family members of veterans who fought in Bangladesh's War of Independence in 1971, which allows them to take up to 30% of government jobs. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Greece's culture ministry ordering the Acropolis to close for several hours at midday, while authorities warn of extreme heat as southern Europe swelters in sizzling temperatures. Forecasters say the hot air from Africa is forecast to continue baking Greece for several more days, at least through Sunday. The temperatures could hit 109 degrees. News and analysis, townhall.com. Plenty of troubled bridges out there, and the Biden administration about to take the wraps off a $5 billion plan aimed at repairing or replacing 16 of them.
The grants come from a $1 trillion infrastructure package President Biden signed into law in 2021. The largest project provides an additional $1.4 billion to help replace 2 bridges carrying Interstate 5 traffic over the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington. Other projects receiving $500 million or more include bridges in Mobile, Alabama, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Power restored at an overcrowded California men's prison. It ran on emergency generators for several days following a major electrical outage amid a heat wave. Corrections officials say the problem was fixed yesterday afternoon. The electricity had been out since Sunday when temperatures topped 96 degrees. PG&E says the problem was with equipment at the prison. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Kind of the beginning.
Of the end?
Of the wetness.
Ah.
Or maybe wet.
The potential wetness?
Like during the day, today, not so much. But like tonight, we're looking at like a 50% chance. 20% tomorrow.
Nice.
Tomorrow night, we got a 40%, 20% on Friday.
So what that tells me is humid.
Yeah, 40% Friday night, Saturday, 20 to 50%, Sunday, 40%.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be floating like 100 today, 90s tomorrow, but by like Sunday, we're going to be like 89, Mondays like 89. Like next week, we're looking at 30, 40% chances of rain with highs like upper 80s, right around 90.
We're in that area known as the dog days of summer.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this is officially monsoon season now or what.
Oh, yeah. No, we've been in monsoon. I want to say monsoon season starts at the beginning of July.
Does it?
I'm not sure exactly. But I remember one year, and this is years ago, we were driving back from the 4th of July fireworks display. And it just started pouring rain. I mean, just right after the fireworks went off, it just started
I kind of remember
pouring.
I remember that several years ago of seeing the fireworks and like, yeah, literally within 10, 15 minutes after the show ended,
boom, downpour.
Clouds opened up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say it was like it's right at the beginning of July is like the beginning of monsoon season.
Okay. Makes sense. Because that's kind of when it started getting rain chances in the forecast.
That's right.
Weird, huh?
Just enough to cool us off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, happy Wednesday. Hopefully we get some good moisture out of all this. We definitely could use it.
Yes.
But man, boy, howdy, has it been hot these last couple days.
Man, boy, howdy.
Yeah.
Man, bear, pig, howdy.
Those commas, man.
Get you every time.
That's right. But I don't know. It's just, yeah, like yesterday, I remember it just walking, it was that, I think I'm cooking.
Yeah, when you just start to feel like you need to find a place to put your arm that's not in direct sunlight because you can just feel like the skin like crisping.
Yeah. Man, something smells good.
What is that delicious smoky smell?
That's me.
Oh, right. Frying my own side.
Man, I sure want some bacon.
I could sure use a little bit of me right now.
You know, I speaking of meat, I did learn of a meat that it's not easily available here, but it was on the X.
Okay.
They had a guy that was at some restaurant in Jersey, and he was having the chef at this restaurant that's been open for like 50 years there in some town in Jersey, and he was talking about they serve the best pork roll, and it's a breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
And it looks delightful. And it's got some kind of bread, look like some kind of bolo bread or something like that, or some kind of bun of some kind, look fluffy and delicious. With scrambled egg, cheese that like gooey cheese,
right?
And then a meat called pork roll.
The meat is called pork roll? Okay.
And when I saw the little 30-second video of this, by the way, they stacked the sandwich. I mean, it's got a stack of this pork roll meat, but it's cut. It looked like bologna. Like when I saw a picture of the guy cooking it, it looked like he was frying bologna. And then they stack it up on there. And so I asked a question on Twitter, which I don't recommend most times. But I said, that looks delicious, but what exactly is pork roll meat? Is it like bologna or is it something different? And I got a couple comments, and the consensus was it's kind of like a combo between salami and ham. And maybe even a Canadian bacon-like quality.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a picture of it now. It's commonly available in New Jersey and neighboring states.
Yeah, it's a big Jersey thing. Yes.
It's let's see. It says a processed meat with a unique taste. Pork roll has resisted accurate description and is sometimes referred to as a mystery meat.
Okay.
Contains.
I went far off when I said bologna.
Oh, yeah. Contains lightly smoked pork, salt, preservatives, and spices. The exact recipes, those are trade secrets.
And the consensus is it's traditionally a breakfast meat.
Okay.
Like it's not consumed at other meals, generally. I mean, you do what you want, but it is considered a breakfast meat.
Now, I will say in the picture, they're frying it up in a cast iron, but they did the bologna thing where you cut it like a cross.
And they did the same thing on the video I watched.
I wish that somebody would have taught me that trick early on in my life. Like, I learned it later.
Yeah.
But I used to make fried bologna sandwiches all the time. And the worst part of it was I had to sit there with the spatula and hold the bubble down just to make sure my bologna got done. Oh, cut the ridges out. Nobody told me that. These are the kinds of things they need to be teaching in school.
My grandma, who was my fryer of bologna, because I've told this story where every morning for breakfast, I used to get my half egg sandwich, scrambled egg, and fried bologna.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I'd watch her fry the bologna, and I saw her cut the thing. I said, "Why you do that?" And she said, "Because it'll bubble up." If you I legit watch. So yeah, my grandma taught me many moons ago. So when I was old enough to actually be in front of a stove, then.
So grandmas and grandpas teach your grandkids the important lessons in life, like how to properly fry a bologna sandwich.
Right. She also taught me how to put down a 12-pack in the 6-hour period.
In one sitting?
A lot of other
She
things.
taught me how to shotgun. Dang this thing.
She taught me a lot of things.
There you go.
But yeah, fried bologna was one of them. So, but yeah, now I kind of next time if I ever set foot in Jersey again, I'm going to go on a quest to procure a pork roll sandwich.
I have one of those, but it's a less common food here in America. You can find it at more like the trendy places. But a few years ago, I learned of a Korean, I think it's Korean style sandwich called a banh mi.
Okay.
And it's like it's meat and street meat and stuff like that, but it's served on this steamed bun, and they serve it in these like a wooden hat box kind of thing.
It's almost kind of like a
dumpling box.
Yes,
kind of dumpling.
And the meat or the bread is kind of dumpling-like, isn't it?
It's very, very soft. But I've never had one. But seeing somebody eat it looks so good.
It's funny you mention that because a show that I watch. It's a good summer show that it's cool. It's been on for several seasons now. It's on Food Network and it's called The Great Food Truck Race.
Oh yeah.
And so the new season of it just came out a couple of weeks ago on Food Network, and so there's nothing on Sunday night. So Kim and I have been watching the last couple episodes. But one of the food trucks is they serve the bao thing. That's their whole. Now they have different variations and off of the traditional version of it, but that's kind of their that's their food truck's theme basically is the bao and that. I believe you're right. It is Korean cuisine. So, but but it's funny. I never heard of it.
Yeah.
And then I've been watching that show, and then you mentioned it, so I'm like, interesting. Maybe someone's telling me I need to procure a bao sandwich.
Bao is the other one. Is the other name for it essentially? But yeah, it's you can tell it's Korean because there's H's in places where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's like BAHO, or you're like what?
It's like MIHH or something like that. It's some weird spelling.
Yeah. But it looks tasty on the show. So they of course it's got a lot of like those Asian veggies in it and stuff. A lot of the
I also have a lot of like weird bucket listy items, but mostly to try like normal food, like scrapple, for example. Always wanted to try me some scrapple. The other thing is Skyline chili. Dying to try some Skyline chili. But you got to go. You got
Scrapple
to.
I've had 100 times.
I've never had that one, but you got to go like straight to Cincinnati.
My mom made Scrapple.
Really?
Oh yeah, Scrapple's a big thing in Maryland. Matter of fact, I think that's like its origins are mid-Atlantic states.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like I remember years ago watching. I think it was Diners, Drive-Ins, or if it wasn't that show, it was one very similar to it. And they actually did a piece on a diner in Santa Fe area. This was years ago. And it was just your garden variety diner, of course, New Mexican style, get you green chili, red chili, whatever, here and that. But he made his own homemade Scrapple. And he was from Maryland, Virginia area. And I think that's the area it kind of originates from. But yeah, my mom made it for me all the time. And it's garbage as far as it's the leavings of pork that they probably scraped up off the butcher floor there and put in there. But and it's an acquired taste because it's very mushy. You would like it because I know you like liverwurst and those kinds of bonschmeer and
because I'm weird.
Well, I'm just saying, as a fan of that, I think you're going to like Scrapple. If you don't like those kinds of food, Scrapple's probably not going to be. But basically, what you do is you get a brick of it, and from the and then you slice it, flour it,
and then fry it.
Right. It's trickier than it says because it's not very compact. Like you need the flour to get because if you don't,
it'll just
like if you try to turn it too early, it just turns to mush, and then you got basically a hash instead of, which tastes good, but that's not what Scrapple.
It's not what you're after.
Yeah. So, but I've had it a bunch of times, and if I go back east or whatever, go online and procure Scrapple, I can. I've done it before. It's been a long time. I know I'm not as good as my mom at doing it, but I've done it.
Just be careful. I mean, you're gonna get stopped at customs, sir. Is that Scrapple in your bag?
I feel like I can get it online somewhere.
Step to the side, sir.
Yeah. If I can get us chips sent to me, I can get Scrapple sent to me. If I can get crabs and salmon from Alaska sent to me. I think I can procure some Scrapple.
This is America, dang it! And by the way, I do have to wish a happy Prime Day to you and to yours.
Is this day 2?
Day 2 of Prime.
Yeah, day 1 was yesterday, if I remember right. So, did you prime it up?
Did not. I usually avoid Amazon like the plague during Prime Day.
Yeah, I didn't either. Although I am disappointed. I have not seen any Optimus Prime memes. Like usually every time Prime Day happens, I see the meme. It says, today we honor the great Optimus Prime for giving us this holiday.
There's some nerd popping up and saying, we celebrate all the numbers that are indivisible.
Yeah. I haven't seen many of those yet. I don't know if that's run its course or.
We've been a bit distracted with other news.
This is
lately.
true. This is true. Kind of got overshadowed by news of the world.
It is a fun thing to say, though, if something goes wrong on either yesterday or today, and be like, and on Prime Day of all things. God.
Right. I should have asked my wife. She's off. And she didn't send nothing. So I'm wondering.
A bunch of random packages just show up in about 5 days.
Yeah. And now, 'tis the season for packages because she orders stuff for school and everything.
Oh, sure.
And so there's classroom things that show up on the regular now. So to be honest, it could be well camouflaged. I don't know. But if I see weird gadgets and things pop up, and matter of fact, we did just buy a brand new fancy crock pot slash thing.
Oh yeah,
one of those ninja ones. It's a crock pot
all-in-one
/ sear. It's not like an Instant Pot. It's not an Instant Pot. This is a regular crock pot.
Okay,
but it has the ability to sear. So like if you want to. Say you're making a dish that has ground beef and you need to brown the beef before you could do it right there in the crock pot.
That's awesome.
And all that. So
nice.
Yeah, we haven't used it yet. It's literally sitting on our counter just collecting dust. But I asked my wife, I said, well, now for the cool bed, you got this time, crock pot some things.
It's funny. One of the more common Googles on my phone is, can I air fry blank? Like, I'll just come up with a food. Can I air fry this? Like, lately I've been doing pot pies, like the old basic banquet pot pies. I found the perfect formula. 5 minutes in the microwave, 5 minutes in the air fryer. It is perfect.
Nice.
It is perfect.
Okay. I will note that. That's just like a garden variety frozen.
Yeah, from Frozen.
Marie Calendar or
this one was
this
is the banquet, the little thin jobbers.
Oh, the tinier ones. Not the big boy ones.
Yeah. The snack size ones.
Yes. I don't know what they go for, but I remember back in the day, you could get one for like 35 cents.
Well, they were on sale this week at your local Farmers Country Market. So I stocked up on them. But here's the cool, Banquet's stepping their game up a little bit. They had like a Salisbury steak pot pie now.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And delicious, by the way.
Interesting. I keep seeing those Marie Callender dessert pot pies.
I looked for those the other day. I couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah, I usually see them at Walmart.
Specifically, like the mixed berry one always looks so good, but I can never find it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I try to tell my wife to get one. She doesn't, because, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they make a chocolate pie. I don't want to do it. That nonsense. But anyway, probably should get the hour going. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay some interviews today. We had the folks from the Chavez County Extension Office joined us yesterday. Drew and Tamara and Caitlin talking all about the Chavez County Fair, which gets underway next week. Yeah.
It's a fair thing.
Yeah. So we talk about that with them. We'll play that for you here this hour. Next hour, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with the Chavez County Federated Republican Women. Today's their big meeting day, luncheon today. If you have not RSVP'd, I highly recommend you do so, but we'll play the interview here in the next hour, kind of give you a reminder, rundown of what to expect at today's meeting. So when we talk about next week during that meeting, don't worry, it's today. And I'll warn you again before we play it. And then the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay an interview with Alethea Hartwell from the Roswell Communal Theater. Of course, they're having their Curtains Rising event coming up here on July, I believe, 27th. Could be 26th, don't quote it. It's in the interview. I just don't remember. I've slept since the interview. So, but they're going to be having their big event, kind of unleashing the upcoming season for the Communal Theater at the Liberty. They're going to have a dinner, fundraising, silent auction, live auction,
nice.
Preview of the plays, all that kind of stuff. Some entertainment, of course, as well, too. So, all of the above.
Yes, indeed.
Matter of fact, I think the entertainment is kind of like a short done by the cast for their opening play here.
Oh.
So
they had to go and learn a whole new play. Or a miniature version of it.
Or maybe it's a
scene from it.
A teaser, if you will. Or
a trailer.
Yeah.
A live-action trailer.
Next week on As the World Turns. And then you just do that. That would be kind of funny to do that, actually. Just film it that way. All right, it is 7:22. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting a southwest flow and a little bit of moist air coming in by later on today. Sunny and hot for now. We're hitting about 100 on today's high, but we may pick up a late day shower or thunderstorm. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms for the overnight hours. Our low should be near 70. Maybe a few lingering showers on Thursday, mix of sun and clouds, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Sunny, high of 100 today. Winds will be out of the north at around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we are looking at a 50% chance at scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 71 degrees with southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying new rainfall amount between a quarter and a half of an inch of rain possible. That's, for us, that's kind of big numbers in that time. So we'll see. For your Thursday, we're looking at a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny. 95 for a high with northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, our chance of rain bumps up to 40%, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 71 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for Friday afternoon, partly cloudy and a high of 95. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, 40% chance at showers, mostly cloudy, 72 for an overnight low. Then looking at the weekend, 50% chance at showers Saturday, mainly for the afternoon, partly cloudy, 94 for a high. 50% chance of rain Saturday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low 69 degrees. Sunday, a 40% chance of rain, high of 89. They're getting cooler. And then 40% Sunday night with an overnight low of 67. That'll be nice, back down sub 70 for overnight lows. Monday, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy, 89 for a high. Tuesday, 30% chance of rain, 88. So cooler temps and greater chances of rain. Look like they roll into it's the weekend and next week. All right, 7:25, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with the folks from the Chavez County Extension Office. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available, plus trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts, presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales, New Mexico Lodgers Tax.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
With summer here, it's cool to be at the Cow. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop is your authorized Brothers Sewing Machine dealer for Southeast New Mexico, and they're all on sale right now at the Calico Cow. New fabric styles for summer are here, and holiday and Christmas fabrics are arriving daily. If you're still stitched to your own machine and you just want a tune-up, call for in-house maintenance 575-639-2586. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the Cow.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
It's time for the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. Come to the Lee County Fair for the greatest entertainment in New Mexico. August the 2nd, it's the annual Hispanic Heritage Celebration featuring Eric y su Grupo Mazore and Los Tigres del Norte. Tuesday, August the 6th, after PRCA Extreme Bulls, it's country legends, the Bellamy Brothers. Wednesday, August the 7th, Faith and Family Night featuring Casting Crown. Nobody but Jesus. Thursday, August the 8th, it's Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night with Joe Diamondina. Heads Carolina, tails California. Friday, August the 9th, celebrate America's heroes with Justin Moore. This is my dirt. Saturday, for Volunteer Appreciation Night, it's country superstar Kane Brown. Baby, I swear I can feel it in the air. LeeCountyFair.net for tickets and more information. Don't miss the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. 88 years of tradition.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 37 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Extension Office. Of course, Tamara and Drew are back with us, and Caitlin Wright joining us as well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
In unison, check you out. You guys are just...
we practice.
That's right.
We practice.
Get one more of you can start a quartet. Well, how is everyone's shiny and happy? And I know this is busy season for everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's good that you're shiny and happy. That means
exactly.
They haven't gotten too much yet. So
no.
Good deal. But I don't know where you want to start, but I know the Chavez County Fair is next week here. So
it is.
A lot going on there. I guess that's as good a place as any to start here.
Absolutely. So Life starts coming in on Monday, but the horse show is on Saturday at 5 o'clock. So come on out and support the kids for that one.
Very good.
There is a pet show open to the public on Monday. So bring all your little ones and their talented pets and all their acts to come join us.
So where's the cutoff on pet? Like dog, cat. Yes.
We've had snapping turtles. We've had
like goldfish,
toads,
hamsters.
We've had a pet rock.
Guinea pigs.
We've had a pet sister.
Okay.
We've had
a pet sister.
I have a pet sister.
And that's when the feud started.
Be creative.
So if it doesn't qualify as livestock, we could pretty much call it a pet.
Pretty much.
Hey, we've
even
had
some
goats in there,
livestock
too.
they'll become pets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those kids build a bond with those
you
animals.
can cross. Hey, it's my pet, but she's a pretty goat. We're gonna go ahead and that's it. But very cool. So if you've never participated in a livestock show, a livestock show, show ring at the fair, because you don't have a farm or ranch, and you don't, that's not, but you got Scruffy, you got, let's prance them on in and let's have some fun. And I'm sure that one, judging's a little bit different on that one, because obviously all the animals are different. So I imagine its personality counts a lot in this one.
They do. So they have some different kind of awards to give out, from the most creative to the most unusual to the best dressed.
So come in costume with your pet.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, very cool. So is that a new category, or has this been a tradition?
This has been a tradition. It's going to be 6:00 on Monday.
Okay. So 6:00 Monday next week. So that's day one of the Chaves County Fair, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So right out the gate, or bring your pets and come have fun there. Good too. Now, I love to encourage people to come out to Now, granted, this is not the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. There's not going to be, the size and magnitude that is that fair.
Yeah, correct. It won't have all the rides and everything like that, but it'll be a good time and a great show.
Yeah, that's the cool part. You get to see these kids. It's kind of their first chance of the season to show off what they've been doing all winter, and it's a lot of fun. And I don't
really
care
is.
who you are or where you come from. I could be entertained all day by watching some kid that's about 3 foot tall handle a 800-pound steer, moving them around the ring. That is
correct.
Pure. I'm impressed and entertained all at the same time.
We don't want to forget either that there are so many indoor projects. You've got cake decorating, sewing, baking,
absolutely,
all the inside stuff that has been worked on so hard too. And I don't know about you, but I love food.
Oh, yeah. Well, pull back the curtain. This was I used to do the show in Artesia for about 8 years, back years ago. And one year, a couple years actually, they asked me to do some of the judging at the Eddy County Fair for baked goods and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. On the surface, I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day, Mike. It's going to be a good day. Oh, my gosh.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And I felt so bad after that. I was like, no more cookies.
Yeah.
At first, you're like, "Ooh, that was good." And you eat the whole cookie.
Oh no!
Big
mistake.
Yes. Big mistake.
One small bite and move on.
Yeah. But you're right. And the other part I love is you don't realize how many artistes you have in this community. Sometimes I challenge you to go into the education building and look at some of the painting stuff, just some of that art and things, or any of the art really, sculptures, any of that stuff. Look at it. And I defy you, without looking at tags and stuff, tell me if an adult or a child painted that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you can't tell. It's like, that's a beautiful painting. That was a 10-year-old? You're blown away by that. So.
And some of the leather crafts, some of the welding projects. I mean, it is impressive. Some of the woodworking.
Yeah.
It really is impressive what some of these kids will do.
It's artisan work. It really is artisan work, and I dare I say these, some of these kids and the younger ones especially are going to be your next generation in the artist studios here, and doing that kind of. Roswell has a very big art community and art, that kind of district. So,
well, one of those projects was so good last year that I asked him to do the same thing for my wife's Bible. So he did a leather cover for his personal Bible.
Okay,
and it was so exquisite. I sought him out and asked him to do the same thing for my wife's Bible.
Nice.
And he made a leather cover for my wife's Bible. And so it was really, it is impressive what you see and what these kids can do. And
that's another thing, too. If you really love their art, you can work side deals with them.
Oh, I definitely did.
I'm sure it was all over it.
The fair board has nothing to do with it, but if you want to work, they'll give you a phone number if you want to get a hold of an artist. Can they find the fair book and everything at the Eastern Mexico State Fair website, or is it at
so the fair
4-H?
book's actually on our county 4-H website.
Okay.
They can find the schedule and stuff posted to our Facebook page, but the fair book in whole is on our website.
Good deal. So if you want to see all the other shows other than the pet show on Monday here, you can, and of course I imagine this weekend's when they start doing the registering and signing ins and all that kind of, I guess, their weigh-ins. I don't know.
So entries come in on Friday with livestock coming in on Sunday, and we get all of those things categorized and weighed in and stuff like that, and then shows start on Monday. We do want to make sure that the community knows that the livestock sale is on Friday night.
Okay.
So that's July 26th. Is that correct? At 7 o'clock.
All right.
So these kids have worked all year.
Mm-hmm.
So those getting through the sale, this is a great opportunity to support kids and a small business and that. And some of our community may say we don't have enough to buy the whole animal.
Yeah.
The Fair Board does allow some add-ons and things like that to be tacked on.
They can do,
go in as a group.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of times where you probably get as many sometimes as a dozen different families that have all chipped in on a cow or a pig or something like that. Because here's the deal. If you're trying, why are they doing that? It's because, like you said, this is the hard work of the kids, and the older kids, this is going towards college money and things like that. Our younger students, this starts paying for next year's project.
Correct.
Whatever, if they we're going to get bigger this year, next year, this pays for that kind of that. So it's to further their education on that.
Correct.
And so, and this is part of the fun. It does get a little, braggadocious. Like, all right, we got records to beat. We got, and so a competitive spirit does become attached to the livestock auction, and it's a good thing because at the end of the day, it's all for these kids, and this is the next generation. If you want your kids and your grandkids to have food, this is the kind of stuff you need to support.
The food and to learn hard work pays off. And we have such great community support that we have so many businesses come out and really support these youth. And so we're very thankful for them and this community and how they support these kids.
And that's why I want to invite folks that normally if you go out to the Eastern Mexico State Fair, and I get it, how many times can I go around the merry-go-round or the Ferris wheel and all that? This next week's fair really focuses on the countryside of it, the working side of what a fair is and why we do it to promote the industry and to educate the next generation of the industry. So I want you to come on out. There'll be plenty of food. There'll be plenty of fun things to do while you're there. But sit and watch these livestock shows. Certainly come out next Friday night to the auction. And even if I get it. I got thousands of dollars to throw around either like that, but you can throw $100 this way or whatever to help these kids. That's an amazing thing, and these kids greatly appreciate it. I am kind of curious because I know we talked a little bit about this before, but I get muddy in it because I didn't grow up in this world. So the animals that win champion, the reserve and grand champions, they're the ones that go up for auction this time, right?
So it's a combination. So those that have Grand and Reserve definitely go through the sale.
Yeah.
But depending on the numbers that we have in classes, you may see some firsts or some seconds roll through there as well.
Okay.
So the kids themselves are kind of limited to 2 animals going through the sale so that everybody has an opportunity.
Okay.
So you may see some other kids pull up into the sale depending on what the kids above them choose to do.
Yeah. And that's what I was kind of curious on. Like, so say and this is where maybe I'm wrong, say the student decides, well, yeah, I won here or whatever, but I want to show it at the Eastern, or I want to show it at the State Fair.
And as long as it didn't get Grand or Reserve, they can do that.
Gotcha.
And so that does
So if you do get Grand or Reserve, you are kind of locked into.
Yes, you're locked into the sale.
We're going to the sale today.
Correct.
So don't worry.
And so that's part of the strategy, too, when they're looking at their animals on which ones they're bringing to county, which ones they're bringing to state, which ones they're taking to Eastern. And so there is a strategy to it.
So playing the gambling odds here.
That is.
Which fairs, by and large, have the biggest payouts for these kids? Is it the State Fair? Is it the Eastern? Is it our local Chaves County
Honestly,
fair?
Our local Chaves County and our Eastern have very good sales.
I was about to say because the closer to the heart they are, the more generous they're going to be. You know
Correct.
what I mean?
Because it's more local. The families tend to know each other.
Exactly.
We're
that's
a
my
nice
neighbor's
small
kid. They
community. Correct.
So that makes so I see the logic there. I was just wondering if how the wheels turn on it because I'm sure it's a strategy and that's as it should
Very
be
much
because And to be honest, that's part of farming and ranching, because these are the same kinds of decisions when it comes to operating their farms and ranches they're going to make. It's like, all right, do I scale back this crop to make room for this crop? The weather's not going to be favorable for this one. Maybe I should back this off to go this way. And these are the kind of decisions, and they're learning it at this level.
Correct.
Right now.
You have to make decisions in life, and that is a big one.
Yep. So trust me, this is all the future. If you enjoy going to the grocery store and buying those various cuts of meat under saran wrap, or going to buy those apples and stuff and produce there, you need to support these kids that are out at the fair this next week and in future fairs coming in the months ahead.
Very much so. And then if you're interested in showing, and you want to show, and you don't live on a farm or a ranch, you can show. That is not strictly just if you have a farm or you have a ranch or you grow up on a dairy. None of that is limiting. So if you are interested, come out to the fair, talk to some of these kids, talk to us, and we can help you find places where you can house your animals and where you can get involved and do this. Absolutely. It really is a great program.
And that's something too I want to, we talk about when we talk 4-H every month here is, yeah, you can get involved in 4-H like Drew's saying, and be involved in the fair, and like you said, have nothing to do with cleaning a cow or a pig or doing or touching an animal. Correct. You could get it if you're into computers, if you're into shooting sports, if you're into arts and crafts, if you're into home economics, if you're into leather work, if you're into if you're into something and there's not enough of it, maybe find some more people and we'll create that.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty for it. If we don't have it, maybe we can create it. That's it's as fluid as the community wants it to be here.
Exactly.
So please, come out next week. Talk to all the kids. You'll see. I'm sure you'll see Drew and Tamara and Caitlin, everybody kind of out and about. Talk to them. Visit with them. Go and ask them. What do I want to do? And imagine some of the kids you'll talk to. They're probably involved in multiple clubs. Some are livestock. Some are probably shooting sports or something that has nothing to do with farm life. And so. Talk with them. That's what they and by the way, something else adults you'll notice, because this is something I notice, and it doesn't matter what fair it is, Chavez, Eastern State, it don't matter. Every time I interview kids from 4-H, FFA, that community, they're very mature and polite. It's just something. It's all yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. You ask them a question, they give you a thought-provoking answer. Not just like, yeah. Trust me, as a guy that interviews people, oh my gosh, I'll ask a 10-minute question, I get, yes. And I'm like, what are we going to say now?
Oh, Mike, we both know you don't have a problem with that.
But sometimes I do feel like I dominate conversations, and I hate doing that. But sometimes I feel the need because it's dead air, and I'm like, and so I'm just like, so what do you think? Do you really? And I'm trying to see if they're registering on what I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm like, I think I got them, and it's like,
Nope, lost them.
Oh, you done me dirty. Not trying to pick favorites, but athletes are the worst. Like of the kids of the high school age that have usually the most trouble getting them to talk, it's the sports kids. Doesn't matter, girl, boy, what sport. If it's a sport, it's like, so what are you doing to prepare for the game tonight? I don't know.
But that's so much a part of 4-H is that communicative skill set that we really push, that public speaking, and so they get a lot more roundedness in that area, whereas within sports they're maybe not having to go out and talk to a whole lot of people on a regular, and so the focus is different. And so I'm sure if those youth want to get better at that skill, 4-H is a great place for them.
Absolutely. Well, and that's part of it, the parliamentary procedure, that's stuff, parliamentary rules, all that is very much part of 4-H. So when they conduct meetings and things, they learn that, and I'm pretty sure those children are not going to be able to navigate the rest of their lives without having to have knowledge of those things. If you volunteer at any kind of organization at some point in your life, and that's kind of what we're creating here, is those next generation of those folks.
Very much.
They're going to be sitting on boards and things like that, and that almost, every board that's on the up and up, that's what they do.
Very much so. Very much so.
Just saying. But fair is next week again. Go to the extension office website. to download the fair book for the Chaves County Fair here if you want to get, especially if you plan on participating, so you don't want to botch your turn-in times, or make sure you're in compliance with all the rules and what you can and cannot do and turn in at this year's fair here. Is there any big changes on some of that kind of stuff that people that do this in and out need to be aware about, or is it pretty much same as usual?
No, there haven't been any major changes to any of that. No.
Okay, good. I'm very naive in this world here, so I'm just like, I know people that, if you're in the industry and the thing, you don't need to go consult the fair book for the rules. You probably have them ingrained in your brain somewhere.
It's always good to review, though.
Yes.
Always good to review.
Outside of fair, what else we got going on? Anything for our farmers and gardeners out there?
So we do. So this Saturday we have gardening at the library again, and it's going to be led by one of our master gardeners, and they're going to be talking about troubleshooting in your garden and mitigating drought damages in your garden.
Step one: don't shoot in your garden. That might the lead might.
Yeah, it can stir up a little bit.
Sorry, bad joke.
If you lay the fertilizer out instead of shooting it in, it helps a lot.
Yeah. You want think carpet, not target precision.
Yeah, correct. And then, of course, we're getting back into that season where we're going to be worried about pecan weevil. So at the end of this month, after the fair, on the 29th, we will be having our first pecan weevil trap workshop.
All right.
Where we'll build the trap together, and you'll learn how to monitor for the pecan weevil within your backyard pecans.
Nice.
And so we've had very positive feedback on this, and this is a program we want to keep going to help protect our producers. Pecan industry is a huge industry in New Mexico, and we want to get rid of this weevil. It is costing our producers here in the county anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 annually because of the quarantine procedures that they have to follow.
Well, and if it starts infiltrating the commercial
If it goes there, it's a struggle to get rid of. And so we're very thankful that right now it stayed in homeowners' backyards, and a large part because of the monitoring programs, and also because of NMDA's free treatment for homeowners that do have the weevil in their backyard.
Just was curious, is this something that we're going to have to deal with forever, or will this eventually, this too shall pass?
NMDA at the last report was very positive that Chaves County can eventually get out of the quarantine because of our monitoring and because of the treatments that have been going on and the decline in the population in those areas where they are treating. Yeah. The problem with the weevil is its biology. And so it is a long-term cycle so
it's built for the long haul.
It is. It's a very tough one to take out because it'll bury itself about 1 to 2 feet in the soil and pupate there, and then the next year only about 90% of those weevils that drop down in the soil to pupate will actually emerge. The other 10% usually waits 2 years before emerging. So that's why it's a constant monitoring and constant long-term
leave a little
plan.
Long-term. Even when you get rid of them, they left you a little present for later.
Well, they can. And so that's why we continue to monitor even after we're not finding the weevil in that location.
Sure.
And so they'll continue to monitor for up to 3 years after the last weevil sighting.
It's amazing how God's creatures, how they what abilities and traits they give them to survive and to keep the breed going. So
very much so.
It's very interesting. It's a pain in the butt, from our perspective here, but from another perspective, it's kind of neat to see how nature works.
Yes, it is. And it's definitely one we want to get rid of. And so please do call into the office, sign up for one of the workshops.
Yeah.
So again, we'll have 3 more in August. And
we have
we'll
like
have
an adult arts and crafts thing, maybe?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, you go, but maybe we do one at like a fair, like had the commercial building where we just walk up and
that would be
build
pretty
your
awesome.
own pecan weevil trap.
And we do that in these workshops, but that may not be a bad idea, Mike. You may have just started a new program.
Kids love doing it. Let's give some one for the adults. You serve drinks, you'll be the most popular booth at the fair.
I'll have to get that approved through Enema Shoe, I think.
People I don't even have a tree, but I got a 4-weevil trap.
And then one more program that's coming up that's a collaboration with Chaves County Soil and Water Conservation District. So we're going to have a grant writing workshop August 13th.
Okay.
And that's going to be at the Roswell Civic Center here. And that's going to be in the afternoon from 12 to 6. And so we're actually bringing in a gentleman that's Jesse Jewin, who writes grants for a living, and he is going to talk through how to write grants. And this is a really great opportunity for people to come out, learn about that, because there are a lot of grants out there that are available not just to producers, but we're mainly focusing on grants available to help producers upgrade their equipment or upgrade their facilities for a more conservation-minded or efficient system on their farms and ranches. And so that's mainly why we're bringing it in, but it is open to anybody to sign up and come, because there are a lot of grants out there for different programs, for different entities that are available, and this is a great opportunity to learn and get some good information, because grant writing is very competitive.
It's very competitive and very meticulous.
Yes.
So get your feet wet if you've never experienced it before, and be prepared to maybe a little frustrated, because it's very competitive, but it's really down to everybody's qualified, but it's like who followed the rules the best. That's who gets it. You know what I mean? And that's it's tough when you you learn that lesson the hard way sometimes. But it's important to do it and keep doing it and keep doing it, because there's free money when it's all done.
Yes, and you can register online on our website at the Extension Office website. And then also on top of that, all these youth that are looking for scholarships, they're like mini grants. So if you take your time and figure out how to write those scholarships and write those out, then you're going to be setting yourself up to where later down the road you can write these grants and get those as well.
Not to mention in the people that have grant writing abilities generally don't spend a lot of time unemployed.
That is correct. That is correct.
Just another note there. So. Good deal. Did we get it all?
They can join Caitlin and I tomorrow in Hagerman for 4-H Day at the library at 10 a.m. if they'd like to.
What do you guys...
We're doing braiding this week.
Okay.
So they can come enjoy some keychains, learn a few new techniques, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
August, we're back to our normal schedule.
Okay.
But Crafting for Your Mental Health is next, or actually tomorrow in Hagerman at 12:30 at the Joy Center.
Excellent.
Or they can join us at Senior Circle Thursday at 2.
Good deal. Yeah, lots going on at Senior Circle. And if you haven't been in a while...
that place is hopping.
Yeah, that place went from...
Everybody listening, braiding is not just for the girls or the ladies.
No.
This is something, I've made duck call lanyards, rifle slings. There's a lot of things that you can use.
It's a useful skill set to have. It might... Yes, you can create cool, decorative, and things like that, but it's a serviceable skill that in a pinch, when you're out somewhere and something breaks, you might need...
Braid it back together.
Exactly. That's a skill set. This is stuff I learned back in my Scout days. I know exactly what we're talking about. My Eagle Scout coming in handy now. So. Very good. But again, give the website for the Extension Office, the address.
So the website is chavisextension.nmsu.edu.
Okay, and you can go there and get the fair book for next week. If you have any questions about anything we talked about here, and then Drew, give the phone number for the office here if you have any questions.
575-622-3210. All
right, and I want to leave you out. Give the address.
The address?
Yeah. Oh, did I stump you?
Oh, you sure did. Are we Listen.
So they can run by the office and see us at 200 East Chisholm, Suite number 4.
I knew it was East Chisholm. I was like,
I could have told you Chisholm. Yeah. That's about all I can do.
I don't blame you. I've heard him say it 1,000 times. It's still. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And don't work too hard next week. I know you're going to be running around like chickens with your heads cut off here, but have fun too. So, good deal. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
All right, it is 9:02. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk.
Learn about the future of the Carlsbad Albertsons grocery store since the announcement of a merger between Kroger and Albertsons. Since that announcement, the companies have since said they would close hundreds of grocery stores nationwide. But the Carlsbad Albertsons store has not been on that list of stores the company says it will sell. The closures were required by the Federal Trade Commission in order to satisfy concerns over a monopoly. New Mexico, just days away from the start of the special legislative session that Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has called to address crime. The governor says her proposal to give judges more ability to hold people not mentally competent could help reduce crime and homelessness. The federal government said in 2023 there were more than 3,800 homeless people in New Mexico. When Thursday's special session begins, the governor is calling on lawmakers to pass 2 bills expanding the court's ability to hold someone in custody because of their mental state. One would address mental competency in criminal cases. The other would expand the definition of a person's behavior and whether that person is considered a danger to others or themselves. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Did you know that high school football starts in just about a month from now, a month and a few days? The Roswell Coyotes are gearing up for another successful season. Last year was almost perfect. The only close game of the season was the championship game when they fell to the Artesia Bulldogs. Roswell finished the season 12-1. They've got some players coming back, including first-team running back first-team All-State running back Bryce Sanchez, also back on the defensive line, Noah Lynn, a junior for the Coyotes last year, and Mason Greathouse. Both of those guys were juniors, and they were both picked first-team All-State. Quarterback Manny Fuentes has graduated, but here's another guy coming back, Keegan Nichols, a first-team All-State outside linebacker. He was a junior last year for the Roswell Coyotes. The season starts with a road game at Los Lunas. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. retail sales were unchanged in June, as a drop in receipts at auto dealerships was offset by broad strength elsewhere, a display of consumer resilience that bolstered economic growth prospects for the second quarter. U.S. banks have reaped a windfall from higher interest payments on loans, but commentary from some top executives suggests they could face an uncertain path ahead. Waning demand from borrowers and slowing consumer spending could weigh on bank earnings in the coming months. Progressive Corporation posted a more than four-fold jump in its second quarter profit on Tuesday, driven by strong demand for its personal auto insurance policies. The company has also benefited from large pricing increases in personal auto insurance premiums. United Airlines flight attendants will vote on whether to authorize a strike if an agreement on a new employment contract cannot be reached. The vote will open on August 1st and close on August 28th. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Do you love your car? Yes. Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660.
Fergalicious. The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Trump train picking up more passengers at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, with last night's focus on unity. Some of Mr. Trump's former rivals for the GOP nomination endorsed him. That includes former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
Haley took the convention stage and immediately set aside her differences with Trump, offering her strong endorsement. Then she spoke directly to her faithful supporters.
My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for him.
Haley said she and Trump agree more than they disagree and claimed that a unified Republican Party is essential for saving the country. Greg Clugston, Milwaukee.
And what can we expect today?
On the third day at the Republican National Convention, the theme shifts to national security and foreign policy. A speech by Ohio Senator J.D. Vance will introduce the vice presidential nominee to fellow Republicans and a wider national audience. President Biden's handling of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the crises in Ukraine and the Middle East will come under fire, and former Trump administration officials will outline what foreign policy would look like if Donald Trump were reelected to a second term. Former Trump rival Nikki Haley.
A strong president doesn't start wars. A strong president prevents wars.
I'm Jennifer King.
Britain's new Labour Party government says it will calm the country's storm-tossed political waters and ease its cost of living crisis. The government setting out its plans for national renewal at the grand state opening of Parliament today. King Charles reading a speech written by the government outlining its legislative agenda. Mayor of Paris has taken a swim in the Seine River, meant to highlight its improved water quality ahead of the upcoming Olympics. On Wall Street, ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures down 130 points. NASDAQ futures off 308 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Authorities in Bangladesh urging universities to close after at least 6 people died in violent protests over the allocation of government jobs.
Student protesters clashed with pro-government student activists and with police, with violence reported around the capital Dhaka, the southeastern city of Chattogram and the northern city of Rangpur. Protesters have been demanding an end to a quota reserve for family members of veterans who fought in Bangladesh's War of Independence in 1971, which allows them to take up to 30% of government jobs. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Greece's culture ministry ordering the Acropolis to close for several hours at midday, while authorities warn of extreme heat as southern Europe swelters in sizzling temperatures. Forecasters say the hot air from Africa is forecast to continue baking Greece for several more days, at least through Sunday. The temperatures could hit 109 degrees. News and analysis, townhall.com. Plenty of troubled bridges out there, and the Biden administration about to take the wraps off a $5 billion plan aimed at repairing or replacing 16 of them.
The grants come from a $1 trillion infrastructure package President Biden signed into law in 2021. The largest project provides an additional $1.4 billion to help replace 2 bridges carrying Interstate 5 traffic over the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington. Other projects receiving $500 million or more include bridges in Mobile, Alabama, and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Power restored at an overcrowded California men's prison. It ran on emergency generators for several days following a major electrical outage amid a heat wave. Corrections officials say the problem problem was fixed yesterday afternoon. The electricity had been out since Sunday when temperatures topped 96 degrees. PG&E says the problem was with equipment at the prison. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Hope your day's going well.
The countdown is on.
That's right.
We started a little group chat yesterday with all the participants in this little getaway.
So you're leaving Friday morning?
Friday morning, 6 a.m. Yep.
All right.
We're gonna hit the open road, head up to Denver, and our resident planner has already outlaid a few activities. We found this. She found this place called Water World in Denver. It's like the biggest collection of water slides and lazy rivers in North America.
No Kevin Costner.
No Kevin Costner.
No.
Unfortunately, no. No, he's busy.
No Dennis Hopper.
He's busy tanking other movies. You know, he really should have thought before he released that movie he just put out. If he just walked into a cornfield, he could have heard, "If you film it, they won't come."
Is it losing money?
Oh, bad.
I haven't looked.
It is tank. I can't remember the name of it. Homeland or something.
Well, it's a series.
No. It's just a movie.
It is a movie, but it's a series of movies. Like there's more of these movies coming out.
Well, maybe not. Horizon is what it's called.
Yeah, it's a series. Like this is part one.
It's a saga.
Yeah.
$2.4 million at the box office opening weekend.
Ooh, that's not good.
That ain't great. That's not good at all.
How many theaters was it in?
I'm pretty sure it was a wide release.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Because I hear those numbers and I'm like, what is it, 100 theaters?
He put his own money into the
Yeah, I know.
production.
I knew that. I knew this was all his own financial backing and everything. Maybe he's going to make his money on the back end. Because I'm sure...
Through merch.
Well,
sales of plushies.
Like, to me, seeing the trailer for the movie and knowing that it's a series of movies, this is the type of thing that's going to do better on...
A streamer?
A streamer.
Yeah, more than likely.
You know what I mean?
Now, Netflix has made an offer to acquire Horizon.
Yeah.
So
I think to be honest, I think he should have never... Yeah, I think it should have been direct to Netflix or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
That probably would have saved him some money and probably got just as many eyeballs on it, to be honest. So.
It's got a budget of $100 million. Oh boy.
So it's epic.
Yeah, it's definitely epic. For sure.
But in all fairness, isn't this typical Costner movies? I mean, Waterworld, The Postman
for sure.
These were all over budget, over everything. And to be honest, financially, I don't think those movies are like, if you look at the numbers, they probably didn't do as well as, but I kind of dig those movies.
Now, I know when you're Kevin Costner, you can just go ahead and do passion projects. You don't really have to worry about feeding the kids.
Well, at this point, this one we might have 12 more seasons of Yellowstone. He's like, guess what? I'm ready for Yellowstone.
Here's the thing.
He's got to pay for this.
I think that we're going through a bit of a kind of like how the world is sort of in the middle of a superhero fatigue. I think we're kind of going through a Western fatigue. There was a big renaissance of Westerns and Western TV shows
over the last decade, I think we're finally maybe reaching that point of oversaturation where people are like, all right.
Well, what's his name? The Yellowstone guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name right now.
Sheridan.
Yeah, Sheridan. I think we got over Sheridan.
Yeah, it's his specific vision.
Pretty much, if you look at every tentpole popular thing on Paramount, it's a Sheridan project.
Yeah, it's true. I'm surprised they haven't redone Young Guns with new Young Guns. Like, I feel like that's definitely a franchise that's just waiting for a reboot.
They did make Stars or one of those made that Billy the Kid show.
Yeah.
But it's more like I've watched the first episode of that, and I should watch more. I just didn't. And that is more about Billy the Kid coming, like his whole life coming into like the first episode, him as a kid and how he gets to New Mexico and his mom and all this kind of stuff. So it's, to me, that's a different. I mean, I don't know how much
it's an origin story.
How much of that's actually factually correct, and how much of that is Hollywoodized. But I kind of dig something other than the Lincoln County Wars.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective to see for sure.
But that being said, I think they will when they'll reboot Young Guns, because they always reboot things that were popular another time.
I mean,
I just think they're waiting for a moment for when they can slip in Westerns again.
Yeah. If we live in a world where a reboot of White Men Can't Jump exists, I think that, they need to redo Young Guns. There's something similar to it.
Well, House Party.
Yeah.
That should never been redone. I saw that
that'll
movie.
give you. Oh, speaking of, I watched, I guess Vice is bringing back Dark Side of the 90s.
Oh, really?
It starts back, I think it started back this week, like as in yesterday was the first episode.
Okay.
But as Vice does, they'll replay an episode from the previous season, or they'll put an episode from the previous season on YouTube for free. So last night I watched the Arsenio Hall story from, I guess it was from season 1.
I think I saw that one.
It is fascinating how quickly he came like to the forefront of late night, and then how immediately he was just knocked off. And he kind of staged his own career unaliving. I don't want to use the S word. Because in like a move that every single person on his staff was like, don't do that. He booked Louis Farrakhan on his show, and basically just completely, he just like threw a match on it and just torched it.
That was the straw.
The nail in the coffin.
He said, "I'm out." Yeah, and if I remember right, I think he was kind of getting tired of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole, because the late night wars at that time, and it was all about who could get the guest, and it was very cutthroat. Like, okay, you're on the so and so show, you can't be on my show now.
And they talked about how Carson had basically set up. This is originally for the Joan Rivers show, but it bled over to Arsenio, and they said, if you do Arsenio Hall, you're not going to do Carson for a while.
Chevy was in the mix during that time too, with talk shows, and Pat Sajak, and so it was all in the mix. If you did Sajak, you're not doing this one.
And they brought up Pat Sajak show too. But the difference is Arsenio wasn't going for that demo. Like, he wasn't going for. They talked about how we had Kid and Play on. We had like hip hop artists on, while they had Walter Matthau on Letterman. It was never a competition when it was Sajak. It was always Letterman versus Arsenio. Or no, I'm sorry, Leno. Once Leno took over for Carson, Leno versus Arsenio, and then nobody worried about the Pat Sajak show. They even syndicated Arsenio onto CBS before Letterman took the reins.
Well, yeah, and the Sajak show was an instant bomb, kind of like Chevy Chase's show. They were both. And Fox, that's when Fox decided to get in the late night game, and they tried to do it with Chevy Chase. And they invested a lot of time, money, and that, I think it lasted maybe one season or 2 seasons, and they pulled the plug on that one.
It's always funny to me with the Chevy Chase thing, how, I mean, if you have a reputation for being hard to work with in Hollywood, wouldn't you do your best to fight against that and do better?
The thing is, in his head, I don't think he thinks he's hard to work with.
I guess.
I think he thinks, I've reached a certain level. This is how I act. Deal with me.
But he's felt that way since the second season of SNL, essentially.
To be honest, some people are like that. I think he's just like that. I think he's like, I got here, now kiss the ring. I think he's one of those people. And my guess is, I don't know the history of Chevy Chase, but he probably had to go through a lot of that to get to where he was at, and so now he feels entitled to do that. And that's the problem with, the old Hollywood and all this, the casting couch, the kiss the ring, the whole, and then when these people finally get to that, then they feel licensed to be able to do it to the next generation.
It's like Bill Murray was always, from what I heard, a pleasure to work with up until the 90s. Like for something happened in the 90s where he snapped and just became next to impossible to be on the set with.
He's a guy that I think he wants to be every man, but he's also a snob.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he wants to be the funniest guy in the room, but at the same time, he only wants to deal with you to a point.
Yeah,
and then he's out.
I want to be the funniest man in the room, but I also want to be taken seriously.
Yeah, he wants to come in, drop the laugh bomb, and walk out. Is what he wants to do. So. But and he's very good at it. I mean, how many clips on social media do you see him doing his little one-liners at a golf course somewhere, and then he's out? That's kind of his thing. But anyway. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a minute. And then we're going to play our interview with the folks from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. We had Joan and Janine join us. Their meeting is today.
Yes.
This was last week, and they're coming in to promote the meeting this next week. But since they got an open slot and last-minute reminder, we're going to play this. So when you hear it and they talk about next week, the meeting is today at 11:30 at the Convention and Civic Center. You can RSVP still this morning or just show up, and they'll take care of you here this morning. But we'll play that interview in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with newses of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update, sports report, whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
Very good.
But first, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting a southwest flow and a little bit of moist air coming in by later on today. Sunny and hot for now. We're hitting about 100 on today's high, but we may pick up a late day shower or thunderstorm. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms for the overnight hours. Our low should be near 70. Maybe a few lingering showers on Thursday, mix of sun and clouds, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 56% with winds out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. 100 under sunny skies today for us with winds out of the northeast at around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 71 degrees. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They say we could get anywhere between a quarter and a half an inch of rain this evening. We'll see. For your Thursday, 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, sunny and a high of 96. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Thursday night, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, 71 for an overnight low. 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 96. And for the weekend, Saturday, a 50% chance of showers. For the afternoon, partly cloudy and 94 for a high. Sunday, a 40% chance at showers, partly cloudy and 89 for a high. And then Monday, and then as you head into next week, rain chances continue with highs in the upper 80s to start next week. All right, it is 8:18. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women from last week, talking about today's monthly meeting at the Convention and Civic Center. That's up next. Don't go away.
It's hot, and Maze Lumber in Roswell is your BioGuard headquarters for your swimming pool. Maze is your headquarters for chlorine, including pool generators, and Soft Swim by BioGuard for your non-chlorine products. Maintain your pool this summer the right way for a season full of smiles instead of headaches. Let your pool sparkle all summer long with Maze Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
You can count on Maze Lumber Company.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Ager told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455. Summertime fun is almost done, and you know what that means.
Oh, back to school.
Roswell Honda's Back to School Bash, Saturday, July 27th from 10 to 1. Register your kids now for the free backpack giveaway. Then join Roswell Honda Saturday, July 27th for free hot dogs, ice-cold Pepsi products, plus face painting, snow cones, jolly jumps, and prizes galore. But that's not all. Roswell Honda will be giving away backpacks chock full of school supplies. Spaces won't last, so sign up fast. The Back to School Bash, Saturday, July 27th at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
When you're healthy, you can do amazing things. We're all about that. Because if you don't have access to health insurance through your work, or you just lost Medicaid, Be Well can connect you to the right health plan for you, your family, and your budget. We want to make your life a little easier, worry-free, and healthier. Because your health is everything. Be strong, be adventurous, and be amazing. Be Well, New Mexico's health insurance marketplace. Learn more at BeWellNM.com.
So the weeds are taking over your property? Ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is Ben from Roswell Seed. If Jim was here, the first thing he'd do is figure out what kind of weeds you're dealing with. He'd recommend the best thing to get rid of them and show you how to use it. Then, he'd probably tell you a long story about the biggest weed he ever saw.
Big or small, when problems come along, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
It's time for the Eddy County Fair, and Central Valley Electric Cooperative invites you to come out and support the 4-H and FFA kids in our community. While you're there, be sure to swing by the CVE booth and check out the information and giveaways we have for you. We'll have a photo booth and fun activities for you to try out. You won't want to miss it. We look forward to seeing you at the CVE booth during the Eddy County Fair, July 23rd through the 27th.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Celebrate freedom. Celebrate huge savings with 0% financing, more for your trade, and no payments till October during the Red, White, and Blue sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance plus select new Ford models with approved credit.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Joan Bouet and Janine Best back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's life in your worlds this morning?
It's busy. It's busy.
It is busy. I mean, even just coming off last week with 4th of July, UFO Festival, all that stuff. I felt like Monday people took day off that were involved in all that, but now we're kind of full into this week and back hitting the ground running with kind of normal routines. And, oh, by the way, it's election year and all that other stuff. So, you know.
Exactly.
So I can see why you're a little bit busy.
We're busy.
Yeah,
We're busy.
But it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Yeah. Now, for folks not familiar, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, you can probably figure out through the title what they do is they support Republican candidates throughout New Mexico and nationally, you know, as a general. Obviously, the Chaves County, we kind of focus on Chaves County members and things, but and recruiting and working through Chavez County. But it's a platform to inform and for conservative voters and for conservative-minded people, a platform for you to work together and support the issues that you believe are important for our state and country. And so that being said, you guys have monthly meetings, which, by the way, it will be next Wednesday, and it's at the Convention and Civic Center.
Correct.
And they always provide a delicious meal beforehand, and then they have great speakers. Usually this time of year, it's going to be people running for various offices.
It's candidates.
Yeah. And so sometimes it's, different, but since we're in an election cycle, a lot of times each month it's going to be candidates running for office. And the cool part about this is yes, they do a formal speech and talk to you, but, it's over lunch. So if beforehand everyone's kind of meandering around and mingling and afterwards too. So you really get a chance to ask questions and talk to these candidates and see them in a forum that isn't formal per se.
Exactly.
They do a speech, but you get to talk to them and say, so when hey, I'm really curious about this bill. What do you think about that? You get to pick their brains and hear their responses and hear firsthand without the filter of a media doing something.
True.
So that's what's really. And by the way, you get the food's delicious every month, so you're going to be kind of. I'm not going to lie.
So what do you want to know from us?
Yeah, what's the meal? What's the meal? Who's the speaker?
I mean, you got the whole spiel.
I know.
Okay, let her.
This is my problem with being a DJ. That I have the need to talk all the time, and sometimes somebody needs to shut me up.
All right. Let's let Joan do her thing.
Okay. Well, let me start out by letting you know that we have a very special a very special young guest coming. Her name is Molly Pirtle.
Okay.
And after the pledge, she's going to be reciting this Ragged Old Flag.
Ooh, very good.
And so it's nice to have young people involved.
I've heard a John Wayne version of it. She's going to do better, I think.
This is I forget who actually wrote the song, but anyway, it is a poem, and she'll be doing that. The other thing that we're doing, we decided under Caring for America, and Janine is also our Caring for America chair, we decided to donate money to the New Mexico Military Institute IPA Lunch for Kids program.
Oh, cool.
So that's $450 that we've taken out of our budget. And basically, we will be helping one child throughout the year for a free lunch.
Oh, great. Excellent.
And we think that's very important.
Absolutely.
We did get a request. So we will have some guests from NIMI. And I guess the new superintendent, who is Dr. Nina Leacock, will be coming to accept that check.
Oh, great. So folks who have never met the new superintendent, might be your first chance to shake hands and get a chance to meet them and talk with them a little bit.
And I will tell you, we've got two great speakers. Steve Jones, who is candidate for Congressional District 1, will be coming. And Sharon Klostsisholich.
Yeah, that's a mouthful to say.
I like to listen to her say it.
Sharon will be coming in.
I just call her Sharon C.
That's probably the smart thing. And these two people, we met them up at a gala 2 weeks ago. They're working hard.
Sure.
Sharon is actually looking good.
Yeah, she's very grassroots and very, these are candidates that just are concerned and are running. They don't have the resume of I served as a Congress, you know what I mean? Like the political resume that some people, quite frankly, are stale of.
Correct. Well, she was a legislator for a couple terms. She is Navajo.
Sure.
Very well spoken. So we're going to have each of them, and they're coming from a distance.
Yeah.
So we want to give them a lot of time.
Yeah. Extra plate of beans or whatever's on the.
That's not on the menu, but okay.
Whatever's on the menu.
I'll let Janine, because he loves to hear the menu.
I'm a man. I run on my stomach.
As you know, we skipped last month.
Yes.
We skipped last month because of the Ruidoso fires and all the people coming in.
The convention center was preoccupied at that time.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we just moved that menu on down.
Okay.
And we're having the croissant sandwich variety, coleslaw, pickled spears, water, tea, dessert.
Perfect summer lunch.
Perfect. And what we did last time, This is the second time Peppers is making it for us, because what we did last time is we donated that lunch because it was already bought.
Sure, and the food's there. And
the food was there.
Yeah,
We donated it over to the Institute at the Godfrey Center.
Yeah, because they were, at that time, were serving as
Correct.
a evacuation center as well,
Correct.
too.
So
yeah.
we just moved it over there, so now they're making the same lunch again.
Great. So if you were like really hankering for it, it's like, man, I wanted to eat
Exactly.
It's
Come on
back. Come on
It's
down,
back.
and you get to and really you get. Listen, we joke and the food isn't, but please come and listen. It's really a great opportunity to network, to talk to people. Generally speaking, there's usually more than just the elected officials that are, speaking that day that are usually in attendance here. Some of the other candidates will probably be there
They'll
too.
be there. Yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah, so you can talk to them one-on-one.
Yep.
They won't maybe be formally speaking, but certainly you get a chance to
They've
talk
all
with them
had
for a
they
few
all
minutes.
had their chance.
Sure. Okay, so they'll get a chance to say a minute or two.
We had every candidate that was in a contested race come and speak with us.
Oh, great. Okay.
And then in June, we were supposed to have every candidate that was not in a contested race, and unfortunately, our meeting was canceled.
Actually, it's kind of perfect timing.
It is perfect timing.
Because
the planets aligned.
Since they had no one running against them, they didn't have to
We
stand on
wanted-
a box.
They don't have to stump per se.
They didn't have
yeah.
to stand on a box.
Yeah.
We did want people to get to know them because a lot of them are new.
Absolutely.
And we wanted people
And that's a
to-
good thing, by the way. We need fresh faces, new
Oh,
faces,
my
new
goodness.
ideas, new people in the room making decisions. Sometimes we need that. Yes.
Amen.
And I will mention, we do have a sponsor for each of our lunches.
Excellent.
And so people volunteer to be a sponsor.
We thank them very much.
And we do it this month. It's EJ and Toby Ferrat.
All right.
Will be our sponsor. And we do not pay for dessert. Everything is getting so outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
Janine was telling me this morning a box of cereal is
$10.
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah, nothing's cheap.
So I am going to tell you, I have the most incredible board anybody would want to have. And each of them are bringing dessert 1 month.
Ah, nice.
So this month it is Angel Mays, who is our treasurer.
She can sew. Can she cook?
Yes.
I know she can sew.
I will bet she hit Sam's Club.
All right. I was like, I know she can sew, and she's pretty good with her hands. I didn't know she could do, what's her baking and cooking.
I will tell you,
history.
Janine and I went up to our summer meeting, which was in Bernalillo at the Santa Ana Casino.
Okay.
And then we also attended a gala, which was a fundraiser for the New Mexico Federation of Republican Women.
Excellent.
So we really did get to meet a lot of candidates.
Well, it's a gala to you. It's a gala to me.
Oh.
Gala,
Gala,
tomato,
gala.
tomato.
Potato.
Jew is curious because I know we live in the conservative part of the state. Very aware of this. This is, we're the majority here.
Yes.
But when you go to the state convention and stuff, what kind of numbers are you seeing from other parts? Are they coming strong like we are, or is it we still need help there?
No. As a matter of fact, some of the other counties had such low turnout in the primary. Now, last year, I believe we had 2 years ago, during the gubernatorial, we had 28% Republicans come out. We worked it hard this time.
Yeah.
We knocked on doors. We made phone calls. Obviously, the candidates walked. The candidates sent out brochures.
Yeah.
We had 33% of the Republicans
Sure.
come out to vote.
And this is where I think, and this is not just a Republican, this is just an issue, is that we need to, because there's such in the world today that people tell you, if you don't vote my way, your vote don't count kind of thing. And I think those numbers reflect some of that.
You're right.
I think, and I think, I think there's plenty of conservative people in New Mexico. I think there's enough of them that feel that they're wasting their time voting. And that's the message we got to change. And that's,
Oh, my goodness.
that's the message. And so every time I hear these people, it's like, what do you mean you're voting for the other Republican? That's the guy or the person I believe is the right one. Stop telling people that. That defeats the purpose of the election process. If you don't get to vote, just because the team says go this way, but I believe this is the right person. That's why you and only you get to go into that ballot box to check your boxes in there. And we need to remind people, no, don't shut out the noise and vote what you truly think is
vote what
right.
you think is common sense.
And I think if we could get people to understand that's the way, I think those numbers start turning back up.
Well, I'll tell you, this primary, I think, lit a few people on fire.
Good.
And I am hoping.
Hopefully it's a big fire.
Yeah, a blaze. Let's not
blaze. Not real dose size,
yeah,
but
let's
enough
not
to
speak
get
of
here.
fires.
You know what I mean. I know they'll turn the world on me.
I do believe it has a lot of people thinking really hard and strong.
Good.
About the fact that we do have a chance this year.
Well, you should, because I don't care where you turn, if you're not upset at the world you're looking
Amen.
at, then I don't
Your
know.
eyes are closed.
Yeah, you're either
your eyes are closed.
Very obtuse or stupid. I'm not sure which.
everything has just gone out of sight financially. It's outrageous.
Absolutely.
And it's scary.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sorry. This, and I'm going to get. I know it's a political conversation. I don't want to get too political, but if you're not looking at our president right now and not thinking there's something wrong with that man, you're lying to yourself. This is not a Republican Democrat. This is a human thing. That man is not healthy.
Oh,
he
my
needs medical
goodness.
help.
Well, and I want to know who's behind it.
Yeah.
Because there's. If
And that's the evil part. That's the evil part. They know full well that this man should be at home with his grandkids retiring.
Exactly.
But because of the plan or the playbook or whatever, this is what is going on right now.
Playpen.
Yeah.
They need to get
I
out of the
think there's a puppeteer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe there's a puppeteer.
and that's and again to my point. If you don't think something's going on that just doesn't pass the sniff test right now, you need to pay attention. You need to vote, and you need to do your homework. You need to pick candidates that truly believe in the things
and
you believe in.
And you need to do your homework.
Yeah.
You don't need to listen to all the TVs and stuff. You need to go in there
Don't
and do
go
your
on
homework.
Facebook or I mean, okay, if that's a jump off point for you, fine. But don't take some article that some Yahoo shared on social media and call that the gospel.
Correct.
Go because
investigate.
Yeah, because guess what? That's exactly why we're in the problem we're in, because people are doing that and they believe anything they see.
Oh, my goodness.
And they're online thinking that Trump's going to take away everybody and ship everybody off if he's president. And I'm like, come on, does that even sound remotely feasible or like, even if he wanted to do that, how could he do that?
Exactly.
This makes so much there's so no nonsense to this that you've got to have a bit of a head on your shoulders and know when people are blowing smoke up your butt.
Mike, don't you really think people need to say to themselves, am I better off today than I was in 2019?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
let's be realistic.
You're absolutely correct.
Let's go back to 2019 when you could buy a house and you could buy a car and food was reasonable and it was okay to go out 2 or 3 times a week to fast food.
Sure.
People cannot do that today.
Not anymore. Well, you can't even go to the grocery store.
Exactly.
You're paying. Like I see, I've seen it some here too, where they show like those videos on social media of like the meat section at the grocery store, and a meat that normally you would have probably bought for $10 is now $50, and you're like, what kind of craziness is this? That's just the meat department. Get, like you said, cereal.
It's crazy.
Cereal is literally the cheapest form of food out there, and it's short of ramen maybe.
Exactly. Well, ramen is pretty cheap.
Yeah, it is. But even still, you used to get like one of those cup of soups for like 20 cents or something. Yeah. Now I think you can get them for like $1 or something.
Yeah.
Like, geez, you can't even get that for.
Exactly.
I would like to go on a lighter note and let Janine tell you what we did. One of our projects is the Assurance Home.
Yes.
And we do that through our Caring for America. And so I will start it off and then I'll let her finish. I did call the counselor. And we do Christmas, Valentine, St. Patrick, and the 4th of July.
Okay.
And they pretty much have what they need. But we want this to be a fun time for
Sure.
them. So we made...
So we took over ice cream. Ice cream, whipped cream.
It's like a Sunday bar kind of thing almost.
Sunday bananas for, I believe there's, including all of the adults, so there's about 20, 25.
Nice.
So we lined everything up and we've got all the plates and dishes and they don't have to do anything except Well, they
Eat
have
ice
to
cream.
cut the bananas.
And we
They got to scoop them out and put them in the bowl.
So we wanted these young people to make their own ice cream
Yeah,
sundae.
have fun.
Caramel syrup, chocolate syrup, cherries, you name it, we had it.
You should have threw a few,
I took pecans.
or just some weird things just to see if anybody do it. Like, I don't know, meat. Just to, just throw like
It
beef
will
jerky
make it
on there or
good.
something. Yeah, see if they throw it, just to see if anybody just be trying. Like, oh, is that a thing? I didn't know. And they start throwing it on there.
Salted maple bacon on caramel.
Like if you, they don't have them here, but Albuquerque, you ever heard the Five Guys restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
They you can get bacon in there. They have like a menu, and you just say, I want a chocolate shake, and you can put bacon. They got like a list of 20 toppings that you could throw in
Oh
this,
my
and bacon's
gosh.
one of them.
Like
But-
an espresso martini.
yeah, exactly.
On vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can make it as complicated or as simple as you want. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, just throw something that's not normally on there just to see if people would. Was that a thing? Olives? Okay, why not?
Well, we got some feedback, and these young people just had such a great time.
And if you're not familiar, Assurance Home's a great,
It is.
great organization. They help really kids that are kind of at risk, and they do, and basically they teach them life skills through it's almost like a camp like
Common
environment.
sense.
Yeah,
They teach them common
they
sense.
they work with they do things like confidence courses and stuff to kind of take them out of their comfort zone, but also teaching team building and
laundry,
and
banking,
yeah,
simple things.
yeah.
that
It's
they
it's everything
need.
from the daily skills
Yeah.
to pushing them into comfort zones to give them the leadership and
Correct.
and the tools so when they become adults they've got the tools to handle those tough projects
Correct.
and things, whatever they tackle it
Correct.
at their career or family life or whatever.
Well, one thing that they lack is confidence.
Yeah.
And that they do help them
Absolutely.
regain their confidence.
It gives them a sense of a belonging, of ownership of themselves, and
Stepping
and,
into adulthood.
giving them a pride in themselves, and you know, however these kids come here through their various walks of life and things. A lot of them come because they're missing parts. They need
Correct.
things. There's things that throughout their upbringing was not put in place, and the Assurance Home puts it in place.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
gives
my
them those
goodness.
tools and things.
And we treat them about 6 times a year.
Four
Okay.
times a year.
Yeah. And it's
It's an
by the
ongoing
way,
thing.
if you've ever been out to the property, it's like an oasis in the desert.
It
It
is.
literally
Oh,
is.
it's
It's
beautiful.
green grass
Horses
and trees
And the
just-
horses.
yeah, park-like. It's very park-like. Like
Yeah.
got places you can just sit on a bench and chill.
Yeah,
it's very
the town
nice.
is built up around them.
Yeah, exactly. It almost seems like it was
Town
here,
is
and then the
built up
town
around
just
them.
kind of showed up around it. yeah.
Exactly.
As happy as these young people were, I'll tell you, the women that went felt very fulfilled. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
We felt like we
Well,
were.
and that's the cool part about being like. And by the way, I know numbers are good, but if there's folks out there interested in becoming a member of the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women, always looking for new members to be a part of
Absolutely.
it. Men and women. I know women is the predominant thing here, but men also serve in like an auxiliary type
Yes.
role in the Federated Republic.
And
of
we're
Women.
always a couple months ahead, so I'm already thinking about November and our service. We have a service lunch for our servicemen. And
Okay.
We donate a lunch per each person that
Excellent.
signs up. So we had
44 veterans.
44 veterans last year.
Oh yeah, the veteran, and like when you do your
Yeah.
annual veterans luncheon, that's always probably your biggest
Yeah,
attended
it
event.
is. So
and
we always
everything
need
else, so.
extra help there and extra volunteers
Absolutely.
there to help us out there.
But even throughout the thing, because you have your youth scholarship program
Mm-hmm.
and working youth mentorship, and when they're not doing the political side of it, there are places like the Assurance Home and doing the so it's a year-round thing. Even when
Exactly.
it's this year's kind of busy because of an election year, but next year will be a little bit quieter in the political front, so they can focus more on Assurance Home and some of those things while still keeping an eye to the other stuff.
Well, you mentioned our scholarship. We have a door prize every month, and Janine finds them somewhere.
Somewhere in all of my stuff.
Somewhere in space.
Somewhere. And we were able to give 2 $1,000 scholarships this year.
Awesome. It's great. It's
Yeah.
so great. And we appreciate the people that support this stuff and donate the money and the time and effort and do
We
this
have
stuff.
we have right now 148 members.
That's great.
And we really try to engage with each and every one of
Absolutely.
them, make them feel welcome at our luncheons.
And this is your chance to get involved and be active. And another great part is, say you do come to the event and you find a candidate, you're like, man, that person just blew me away. I want to do more to support them. The Chaves
Engage.
County Fair will help you engage to that.
Engage.
Whether it's you knocking on doors or you just, whatever way it is, support the candidate, we can help you get involved with that too. And it's like you said, it's a great networking opportunity. It's a great chance to meet people. So if you're looking for a social element in your life, volunteering and being a part of the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women would also serve that need for you a little bit too, because you get to meet some friends and
and it's a guaranteed date every month.
Absolutely.
Third Wednesday of every month. It's
Absolutely.
I do believe that the only interruption that we had was because of the fire.
Yeah.
Was the only interruption.
That's a pretty good reason to not have a meeting. We actually had paid for 49 of those meals, and some very generous lady paid for 51. Awesome.
So we served 100 people dinner that night.
Well, and this is the good part of Roswell. Sure, we have our moments and things, but when people need help, there's usually a rallying of troops.
When push came to shove, I think people really rallied around the people that were evacuated.
Absolutely. Well, and let's be honest. Many people that call Roswell home call Ruidoso home too.
Pretty much.
Either if they don't maybe have a place up there, then where's our escape? What's every Roswellian's escape for the weekend? It's Ruidoso.
And they are open. I was up there last weekend or this last weekend, and they are open.
Good.
Everything
so support the economy as best you can. Please be mindful of the restrictions and whatever. If they say don't go there, don't go there. But
you can see what you want to see without going into the neighborhood.
Absolutely. And I think like the horse track is starting to
yeah, the racetrack's been up 2 weekends now.
So that's kind of gives
it's
a
pretty
reason.
Amazing.
That's kind of gives a reason for people to go to Ruidoso.
You can see a lot on my page, the Roswell Freedom Talk page, and I stayed up with the fire every day. And kept everybody.
Yeah, because they're kind of self-contained out at the.
They are. They have their own.
They were able to weather the fires. I think the floods did more damage than the fires to them.
The floods did, and they just built that little. Of course, the Rio Ruidoso goes through there, so they just made it deeper. And they should have done it years ago because they flooded in 2008.
Well, that's one of the few times it's actually a Rio.
Yeah. You're right. The only problem is the thoroughbred track. But I stopped by there yesterday on the way home, and they're cleaning it up, and they'll be ready to run thoroughbreds by this coming weekend.
Excellent. So if you're looking for some weekend entertainment, Ruidoso would love to have you. And
they're
but like
all
I said,
open.
Be mindful and be if
I
there's
danced 3 nights this last weekend,
nice.
So they're all open.
So good deal. So yeah, support those restaurants. They're coming and
all the shops.
Absolutely.
The shops.
And I imagine the bars and things are going to have concerts and fundraising. Please go to them, support them. Support them because I'm sure those fundraisers are all going to support those displaced people that are still trying to get back.
The grocery stores are all full and everything. They did not falter. I was so amazed on how everybody worked together.
Yeah.
There was no hiccups whatsoever between all of our Roswell folks helping and all of that, and Church on the Move and all the churches that helped.
Sure.
The governments really didn't even have to step in.
To be honest, once they did, it kind of
was
made
kind
it
of
a
you're right.
kind of gummed it up the works a little bit.
Because these are good common sense folks, and they knew exactly.
You kind of got it till y'all rolled in and gummed up the works a little bit.
Exactly. I didn't want to say that, though.
I can say it. What are we going to do?
We'll let you say it.
I'm just curious, Janine, you have probably a better feel. How many people were in Roswell during that time between our hotels and...
They were overflowing to Clovis, Lubbock, El Paso.
We were at full capacity.
We were at full capacity. All of our hotels were at full capacity.
Yeah.
I know I had 7 folks in my house.
Yeah.
And animals and critters and stuff.
And the fair was,
the fair.
And what they couldn't hold, they were sending out to ranches and different places.
So your biggest assets in this town were the private industries.
Absolutely. The connections.
Godfrey had quite a setup. The university had quite a setup. Roswell only set up 100 beds. I was pretty disappointed in the city for doing that, but I'm not allowed to say that since I'm no longer on the city. I was very disappointed in the city.
But good news is the town rallied.
But the good news is the private industries took a hold.
Yeah.
I know that Clovis and Portales gave their hotel rooms for like $55. There were a few here that gouged, but that's being taken care of.
Yeah, we saw that on the news.
Yeah.
They were made public very quickly.
If you ride around Ruidoso, you still have the Good Samaritan. Billy Graham is there. He's sitting in the Walmart parking lot with all of his big trucks and trailers.
His
I
can't remember what they call that. The
I don't
support.
Know. Support team. They're all there.
Kind of like a triage thing. Yeah.
It's it gives me goosebumps to see all the parking lots filled with all the Good Samaritans and all of that, and water everywhere and sandbags everywhere. You can just go and pick it up.
One of the positives of getting national attention.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's a tough way to go. Yeah.
It is a positive. That's one of the positives.
And of course, I always think a little different than most folk. I'm like, man, they're going to have to resurvey all that land in Upper Canyon because you had cabins here and cabin here.
Sure.
And so they're going to have to resurvey all of it so they know exactly where they're going to rebuild.
Sure. I just hope they catch. Obviously the one was lightning, but the other one that they're still investigating.
Well, you may think it's lightning, but some of us have our doubts.
Well, but this is what the official. I hope that the investigation comes to fruition on the other one.
Well, and me, I have all my conspiracy theories.
Sure, and
I even have that on the UFO thing.
Well, you can get online and see about 70 of them. They got every you name it. They pretty much you could find. Just pick a random person. Yeah. You could probably find a conspiracy that blames them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, exactly.
But that doesn't mean there wasn't shadiness.
Wonderful sandwiches on July 17th.
Next Wednesday, come out to the Roswell Convention and Civic Center.
Peppers is serving us.
Peppers is serving delicious sandwiches. If you can remember to save them some headache, RSVP prior to coming if you would like a meal. If you don't want a meal and just want to come, you don't have to RSVP for anything. Just show up.
Right. Well,
and to be honest,
we have plenty.
If you show up last minute and forgot to RSVP, we'll still get you fed.
Yeah.
But
we will.
But if you do plan on eating, save them a little bit of time and headache.
And it's reasonable, $17 for lunch.
For a complete meal.
And I think if you go out on your own, that'll get you an appetizer now.
I'm talking everything. Iced tea, sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly.
Side dishes.
You get an appetizer for about $17 if you go out to eat on your own.
So come join us.
Come and like we said,
and you don't have to give a tip.
Exactly.
There's not even a tip left.
No.
I'm a big tipper, so I don't.
But please come and hear our guest speakers. Come and ask questions. And if you're interested in becoming a member, please come to the meeting. There'll be a few people you can talk to while you're there.
We'll have lots of applications available.
Excellent. And of course, if you're wanting to get more involved, the people you need to talk to will be out at the convention center next week.
Absolutely.
Right.
11 or 11:30. I always forget.
11:30
is that time. They'll start serving around noon. Everything around 11 is when they start mandarin and getting together. And then usually shortly after food's going and served, they start the actual meeting here. So.
We do.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I think we covered everything.
Chavis County Federated Republican Women has a Facebook page. You can like and follow it.
Yes.
Shoot if you want to RSVP. That's a great place to just shoot them, and they can make a tally and make sure they're prepared for you for next Wednesday.
Correct.
So.
Thank you.
Good deal. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you. See you in a month.
Try not to be too busy.
Okay.
So,
Take care.
Thank you.
Concern about the future of the Carlsbad Albertsons grocery store since the announcement of a merger between Kroger and Albertsons. Since that announcement, the companies have since said they would close hundreds of grocery stores nationwide. But the Carlsbad Albertsons store has not been on that list of stores the company says it will sell. The closures were required by the Federal Trade Commission in order to satisfy concerns over a monopoly. New Mexico, just days away from the start of the special legislative session that Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has called to address crime. The governor says her proposal to give judges more ability to hold people not mentally competent could help reduce crime and homelessness. The federal government said in 2023 there were more than 3,800 homeless people in New Mexico. When Thursday's special session begins, the governor is calling on lawmakers to pass two bills, expanding the court's ability to hold someone in custody because of their mental state. One would address mental competency in criminal cases. The other would expand the definition of a person's behavior and whether that person is considered a danger to others or themselves. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Did you know that high school football starts in just about a month from now, a month and a few days? The Roswell Coyotes are gearing up for another successful season. Last year was almost perfect. The only close game of the season was the championship game when they fell to the Artesia Bulldogs. Roswell finished the season 12-1. They've got some players coming back, including first-team running back Bryce, first-team All-State running back Bryce Sanchez, also back back on the defensive line. Noah Lynn, a junior for the Coyotes last year, and Mason Greathouse. Both of those guys were juniors, and they were both picked first-team All-State. Quarterback Manny Fuentes has graduated, but here's another guy coming back, Keegan Nichols, a first-team All-State outside linebacker. He was a junior last year for the Roswell Coyotes. The season starts with a road game at Los Lunas. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting a southwest flow and a little bit of moist air coming in by later on today. Sunny and hot for now. We're hitting about 100 on today's high, but we may pick up a late day shower or thunderstorm. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms for the overnight hours. Our low should be near 70. Maybe a few lingering showers on Thursday, mix of sun and clouds, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Ryan Lang in for Lou Dobbs. Wall Street still rallying. The Dow up 900 points this week. SpaceX jumping ship. The Dow Jones Industrials leading this week's market rally. Yesterday, the blue chip index rose more than 740 points. Big bank earnings carrying the Dow. Both the S&P and the NASDAQ modestly higher despite more technology losses. Nvidia down again. Wall Street in good position, meanwhile, for another weekly gain. Traders more convinced than ever the Fed will cut rates this year and soon. The latest CME FedWatch update showing 100% odds that rates will be lowered in September. Synchrony Financial leading bank earnings this morning. The stock performing well, up more than 35% on the year. Earnings per share estimated up more than 4% year over year. Revenue targeted at $3.6 billion plus, up nearly 12% from the year-ago quarter. SpaceX and X are moving their headquarters from California to Texas. That announcement from Elon Musk this week. The Tesla billionaire cited California's new transgender policies in schools as the, quote, last straw. Please join Lou twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report. Resort living can be yours with 361 days of sunshine when you live at the residences at 400 Central in St. Petersburg. Now under construction. Call 727-205-8517. That's 727-205-8517. Visit residences400central.com. That's residences, the number 400central.com. Call 727-205-8517.
Are bugs eating your garden and mosquitoes chasing you back in the house? Ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is John from Roswell Seed. You know, we've been battling bugs in Roswell since 1898. And if Jim was here, he'd draw on his immense knowledge and send you home with the right stuff. Chase the bugs out of your garden and the mosquitoes out of your yard.
Don't give the bugs a head start. Head for Roswell Seed Company and find out, what would Jim Gill do?
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available, plus trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for Portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts, presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales New Mexico Lodgers Tax. When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says yes. The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say yes. No social security number or ITIN number? Yes. No driver's license? Yes. It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says yes. If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say yes. Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say yes to you. Yes. Get zero down, zero payments till fall, plus up to $4,000 more for your trade. Yes. On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Yes!
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted. First American Bank was founded in Artesia in 1903 and is the oldest and largest independent community bank in New Mexico. We have reached a milestone few companies in this country can celebrate, our 120-year anniversary. We thank our customers and our communities for their support and friendship. First American Bank, your community bank since 1903. Member FDIC.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview with Alethea Hartwell from the Roswell Community Little Theater, talking about their Curtains Rising event coming up later on this month. That's happening next hour. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The failure of the Secret Service to protect former President Trump and those in his audience from a would-be assassin is raising more questions, and chief among them, how could this have happened? Now, Homeland Security's Inspector General will investigate, Congress planning hearings as well. Make America Strong Again, today's theme at the Republican National Convention. In a show of unity, some former Trump rivals took to the stage last night.
Months ago, they bickered with and battled against Trump, but here at the RNC, former challengers Vivek Ramaswamy and Ron DeSantis came together in a show of unity.
If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. Let's make the 45th president of the United States the 47th president.
And then there was Trump's biggest GOP rival, Nikki Haley.
Donald Trump has my strong endorsement, period.
Trump was here in the convention hall to hear Haley's full endorsement. Greg Clugston, Milwaukee.
Former Trump advisor Peter Navarro has been released from federal prison, served 4 months for refusing to comply with a congressional subpoena. Stifling heat continues gripping large parts of the country from coast to coast.
I think the characterize the heat of 2024 is that it's persistent, and there really has been no big break across the country. It just repositions itself. It had been across the east recently, and it still is this morning as of Wednesday. But then we get a temporary cool down, but then it repositions itself across the western U.S. And we've seen that general pattern repeat itself so far for this summer.
Bob Oravec at the National Weather Service. Heat not the only form of severe weather. Water rescues underway in Arkansas after a new wave of storms that have pummeled a vast swath of the U.S. and Canada. On Wall Street, the NASDAQ down 438 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
6 people have been found dead in a room at a central Bangkok luxury hotel. What's looking like a murder-suicide, according to Thai investigators.
The dead were 3 women and 3 men who were all Vietnamese. Thai police now suspect that one of those who died had also poisoned the others. Officers told a news conference that cyanide was discovered in their blood and in teacups from which the victims had drunk. Investigators said that food that had been delivered to the room was untouched. The motive isn't clear, but police said that 2 of the 6 had loaned a substantial amount of money to another of the deceased for investment purposes.
The BBC's Nick Marsh. South Korea's military is warning that North Korean landmines could be swept into South Korea by rain-swollen rivers. The warning comes as the North places tens of thousands of deadly explosive mines along its heavily fortified border. News and analysis, townhall.com. Elon Musk bids farewell to California.
The billionaire says he's moving the headquarters of SpaceX and social media company X to Texas from California. Musk posted on X Tuesday that he plans on moving SpaceX from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas. X will move to Austin from San Francisco. He called a new law signed Monday by California Governor Gavin Newsom that bars school districts from requiring staff to notify parents of their child's gender identification change the final straw. Keith Peters reporting.
Former Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs running for Lieutenant Governor of California. Tubbs garnered widespread attention when he was elected mayor of his hometown in 2016 at just 26 years of age. Among other things, he launched a privately funded program. It paid poor people $500 a month, no restrictions on how they could spend it. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris Invierno
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to it. I mentioned this to Sean a bit ago, but I went down a rabbit hole earlier. And people are familiar with the Mandela effect, where they swear something was one thing and then they look back and it wasn't.
Right.
And they swear that someone pulled a switcheroo on them or something at some point in life. You know, there's been common Mandela effect things over the years.
The Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstein Bears. There's been a few of those.
But apparently there's a Mandela effect on The Price is Right that's floating around the internet.
Okay.
And for folks that have spent any kind of time watching The Price is Right, know that they have the contestants get onto that section where they have to bid on a prize.
Right,
and
contestants row.
And they get the closest prize amount, they get to go on the stage and play the game. Well, there are people swearing that there was 5 of those contestants on the floor hoping to get on the stage. However, every photo and many people are saying, no, it's always been and only has been 4. And all the pictures show 4, but I'm not saying it's not 4, but I kind of, I seem to remember as a kid, it always seemed like 5, but...
Well, what I was trying to think of when you had mentioned that was the opening of the show. For anybody who's my age who was sick as a
right,
kid.
and it's the official sick show of your childhood.
Yeah, absolutely it is. They opened the show with Rod Roddy announcing people from the crowd and saying, "Come on down.
Right.
You're the next contestant." For some reason, I do remember there being 5 contestants being called down.
I thought so too.
But it makes sense from the perspective of, now here's the thing. Everything that we see on TV looks big and,
Sure,
bold.
and it's tiny in real life.
It's so like the studios in Studio City are like this office essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it's a very small space, and they fit a studio audience in there, so space is limited. I mean, 4 makes more sense from a space perspective, but I do remember 5.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me too. But all the photos are showing 4, and I'm not strong enough in my convictions to say it was definitely 5.
Here's why I think it could be that we could all be confused, because if you'll remember, every pricing game they would start with usually the person that they called down.
Mm-hmm.
So they would start from that point in the lineup.
Yeah.
And they moved so seamlessly from the last one to the first one that it was real hard for a lot of people to keep track.
Sure.
I think a lot of us too were paying attention to the actual game itself and who's going to bid $1. And,
right.
All
I need to go and
junk.
like find footages like of the old ones with footages.
It was. I had a thought. It was always that one person next to you that bids $1 more than you.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that somebody hasn't just turned to that person and gone, you know what? Screw you.
But I seem to think there's plenty of shots of them saying like when they're selecting a new contestant after one get picked, where they show the whole
row.
I feel like there was 5 of them there, and when I remember seeing that, we got an empty spot. Let's call a new one up to the stage or whatever. But the internet's telling me it's 4, so I don't know. I wish I had like an old VHS of Prices Right from like 30 years ago that you could just pull up real quick and see.
If anybody has old footage of The Price is Right, please get it to.
Even if you go on the internet today, I mean, do you trust anything you see on the internet now? I mean, everything's AI'd or altered in some way, shape, or form that you're like, I don't know what I'm really looking at anymore. So.
Okay, so hold on. Now this says, because I just Googled how many spaces are there in Contestants Row.
Yeah.
This says, Contestants Row, now known as Bidders Row in the Drew Carey era, is the area at the foot of the stage where 4 to 8 contestants play the one bid round for the opportunity to proceed to the
so
stage.
Maybe there was
to play a
5 at
pricing
some
game.
point, and there isn't a Mandela effect. We are correct.
I don't know. I mean,
that's a very vague statement. 4 to 8.
But
I don't
see,
ever
here on
remember
Reddit
seeing
it
8.
says there have always been 4 chairs on Contestants Row. This is on Reddit. But I recently started wondering, why is that? I couldn't think of a time when more than 3 contestants was. There was definitely more. than 3.
There was always at least 4. I sworn there was 5.
But I mean,
never remember 8.
And and here's a shot from the actual, like an empty studio, and there's 4 spaces: the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green.
And it looks weirdly small in that
there
photo.
Was an orange. There was an orange space. Unless I'm misremembering the red as orange, I remember there being an orange space.
See, now you got me thinking, and I don't want to say one way or another because, to be honest,
this is what. Okay,
I'm
these little things are what make me look like a crazy person. This and my undying vendetta against AI and all things AI image have made me look like guy wearing cooking pot on head as hat. Me and my friends are like, all right, Sean, calm down. It's going to be okay.
Right.
I swear I'm not a crazy person. I swear I'm not.
And I think that is the crux of what we do for a living, because this is what we do. We Zapruder film everything.
Yeah.
That's part of the show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it is natural for us to take that into our own lives, because I'm that same way. I'm sure I annoy the bejeepers out of my wife when I start analyzing commercials and television programming, because I do it and I don't even mean to. It just happens. I'm watching the commercials like, come on, that's not even believable.
It's funny too how those things tend to stand out to people who are in broadcast. I was going through Facebook yesterday, and I stumbled on a page from one of my old coworkers, my buddy Ronnie, and he posts a picture of a couple that is, I guess, going through a divorce. And he said he basically said it's karma, or it serves her right because she's the woman who does the voiceover for, the girl that does the jacuzzi bath commercial. It said, I would have divorced her just because of her horrid lack of copy reading ability. It makes me cringe every time she comes on. But the story is like, they're her and her husband are filing for divorce after 2 years of marriage. Yeah. He's like, serves her right.
So you know how, like, this is a little inside baseball, but you know how we, the on-air talent and people, like to kind of make fun of the engineer types because they're all kind of weird? Mm-hmm. I think we just saw how the engineers make fun of us.
Yeah,
he just wanted a diatribe about
that's
copy.
Exactly. Although I have now, it's funny because I've listened to several different like radio shows, podcasts, whatever. Every single one of the ones that I've listened to have at some point done a let's try to hit the post competition.
Oh yeah, that's as old as time.
Right. It's one of those radio things. It's like if you've ever worked in radio, you want to talk up until the point when the singing starts.
It's no different than the soccer player juggling the ball for 50 times. You know, right. I mean, it's the radio version of that.
Yeah, this is us showing off and doing what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, those little things tend to shine through.
The guy with the golf club that can tap the ball on his golf club for as long as he wants to or she wants to.
Yeah, good for you, but how long did it take you to learn that skill?
Hitting the post is radio.
Absolutely
DJ's versions of that. That's all that is. And because, and in all fairness, in the modern world, it's kind of cheating because there's countdowns and you can hit the post with a lot of aids. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, you had to know the song.
Yeah.
And you had to know when the guy or girl's going to start singing. And so you talk right. And if you step one word over that, you fail.
Yep.
If you're too early, you fail because you can't have another 5 seconds of music before the singer starts singing to hit the post. You gotta.
It just didn't
on the mix, and then the person hits in with. Yeah, exactly. That's how the hitting the post. But the true barbaric sense, the
just feeling it,
the animalistic sense of it is doing it without the aid of modern technology.
Yes. You can make that happen. That's when you know that's when you know you've won.
And a turntable, and you got to hit the post.
I really do want to look into this Price is Right thing because I swear I remember an orange
colors,
there.
the podium or whatever you call it.
That's going to drive me nuts.
The lights,
the one that was getting me it's more like I don't know why people remember it this way, but everybody remembers the Fruit of the Loom logo with a cornucopia. Like I never recall seeing that long. For those who don't know what a cornucopia, the wicker thing.
I feel like there was a generation or there was some of the marketing had it and others didn't.
But they swear they've never had a cornucopia. But I don't ever remember there being one anyways. I always just remember it being a pile of fruit.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I think you're right, but to begin, if I saw like a packaging with it in a cornucopia, I would not be surprised either. So I don't know. I haven't paid that much attention.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of these are very little itty bitty things that we were far too busy living life to pay attention to.
And to be honest, I don't think I bought Fruit of Looms in years. All my things are Hanes or some other thing.
You brand snob.
I know. I'm a feel snob. I grab underpants and touch them. If I like the feel of them, I buy them. I don't care what the name is.
I mean, in packages. We need to clarify. Not just on the streets.
I randomly grab people's underdrawers just to see how they feel. Hey, how's that feel?
Hey, Jim, mind if I give you a quick once-over?
Yeah, I don't care what the name. I'm touching it, and, I'm that guy.
I really am not a brand snob, and it's actually funny because half the time you'll see just like a bunch of Hanes or a bunch of fruit. Like I go through phases of.
And to be honest, like it's not that I'm anti. It just I don't think I bought it.
Whatever pack is cheapest, that's usually the ones I'm gonna get.
I'm the soft guy. I'm the guy looking for the soft, and I'm like, oh, this one.
We're at different places in our life. I feel like Michael. You're like, I just want to be comfortable. I'm like, I just need to save.
That's my life. I just want to be comfortable. That's my. Put that on my tombstone. I just want to be comfortable.
Life's going to give you the shaft. You just want to be as comfortable as possible while you're taking it.
Good socks and good underpants, and throw me a steak every once in a while. I'll call me good. All right, it is 9:17. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show.
Yes.
We'll get you up to date with weather here in just a second. And then later on this hour, we're going to play our interview we had with Alethea Hartwell with the Roswell Communal Theater. They've got their Curtains Rising event coming up here towards the end of this month, which is the preview of the upcoming season. It's a big fundraising event for them, too, as they're going to have a silent auction and live auction and lots of delicious food from the Liberty and entertainment as well, in the communal theater. So, but we will play that interview talking all about that with Alethea here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting a southwest flow and a little bit of moist air coming in by later on today. Sunny and hot for now. We're hitting about 100 on today's high, but we may pick up a late day shower or thunderstorm. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms for the overnight hours. Our low should be near 70. Maybe a few lingering showers on Thursday, mix of sun and clouds, and low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 100 today with winds out of the northeast at around 10 miles per hour. Tonight we are looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, with an overnight low of 71 degrees and southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're calling for anywhere between a quarter and a half an inch of rain possible tonight. So we'll see. For your Thursday, a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Mostly sunny with a high of 95 tomorrow. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 40% chance of rain tomorrow night, mainly before midnight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 71 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, we're looking at a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise partly cloudy, 96 for a high. Saturday, 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 94. Sunday, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise partly cloudy and 89. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday of next week, we're looking at 30 to 40% chances of rain with highs in the upper 80s. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Alethea Hartwell from the Roswell Community Little Theater. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's time for the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. Come to the Lee County Fair for the greatest entertainment in New Mexico. August the 2nd, it's the annual Hispanic Heritage Celebration featuring Eric y su Grupo Mazore and Los Tigres del Norte. Tuesday, August the 6th, after PRCA Extreme Bulls, it's country legends, the Bellamy Brothers. Wednesday, August the 7th, Faith and Family Night featuring Casting Crown. Nobody but Jesus. Thursday, August the 8th, it's Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night with Joe DiMaria. Heads Carolina, tails California. Friday, August 9th, celebrate America's Heroes with Justin Moore. This is my dirt. Saturday, for Volunteer Appreciation Night, it's country superstar Kane Brown. Baby, I swear I can feel it in the air. Log on to LeeCountyFair.net for tickets and more information. Don't miss the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. 88 years of tradition.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Community Little Theater, Alethea Hartwell back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life at the theater this morning?
It is moving along.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You guys were kind of in your off season, if that's the word you want to use. I mean, they have like a formal season where they start shows, and we're about to kick it off here, which we're going to tell you all about in just a few. But, you know, the summer's technically the off season, but they usually have several different plays or events or projects that are going on throughout the summer here, and this summer was also part of that too. I know you had some workshops and few other things going on throughout the summer here.
Yeah.
So off-season's a relative term.
Yes, that's true.
But that being said, we are getting ready to kick off a new season of entertainment at the Roswell Community Little Theater, and kind of the season kicks off here on July 27th, right, with the big dinner at the Liberty here.
That's right. So, yeah, we've got our Curtains Rising event, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yeah.
And it basically kicks off our season.
Yeah, and so it's a fun night. We're going to have a great dinner. Liberty, as usual, we'll put out a great meal here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we want people to come and fully immerse themselves in the event. The theme for this year is getting folks to come as your favorite historical characters and things.
Yep.
So,
or living work of art.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you can come as a bowl of fruit?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like the Mona Lisa.
I got you.
You know.
Okay. Maybe
Whistler and his mother. Those kind of
I like it. I got you. Maybe you could definitely do the what's the one with the Iowa with the husband and the wife with the pitchfork.
Farmer.
What's the name of that?
I don't remember. I can never remember the name of that picture.
But you know the one I'm talking about. Not Whistler's mother. That's the one with the rocking chair lady. But
right.
I can't remember the name of the that too. But anyway, go as that, or of course, historical figures. There's a lot to choose from. You could go.
Yeah, Cleopatra.
Yeah, you could go that, or you could go like old American. Come as your favorite founding father, or come as like you said, or come as Caesar, or come as I don't know. There's so much to choose from. You'd be Genghis Khan if you want to.
The hope is that it'll kind of look like Night at the Museum. You know how in the movie they're all.
But we need a Teddy Roosevelt amongst the crowd.
all the things come alive. You know.
So maybe you can come like if you don't have a particular one, maybe come as like a cavalry guy or something like that. Dress up in a look like a military figure. Like maybe you're like a old British soldier or a continental soldier or something like that. Have fun with it. Yes. Think of the movies, the Night of the Museum movies, and use that as kind of your palette for your costuming. So, but if you want it, you just want to, hey, now I got an excuse to be Abe Lincoln. All right, come as Abe Lincoln. That's great. We'd love to have you do that. But so kind of give a rundown of what's going to happen that night on the 27th. What's kind of the flow of the evening? Okay,
so we are obviously having dinner, drinks at the Liberty. There's going to be a murder mystery play that will take place.
Of course.
Entertainment. We've got a silent auction as usual. That's kind of one of our big mainstays.
Yeah.
And we have a live auction that will auction off one large, really nice item for each play of this season.
So the cast, the director,
The
and
director.
cast kind of put together, the director of each play this season puts together a gift basket kind of themed around their play.
Right.
Good deal.
Right. Yeah, and they're very nice baskets.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, one of them has like LaFonda
Ooh.
Gift certificates
Okay.
and that kind of thing.
The one in
So
Artesia or the one in Santa Fe?
A Santa Fe.
Oh, gotcha. Either
Yeah.
one's good. I'll take it. But
Yeah.
it's like, yes, I'll take it.
Yeah, and something else, I forget all the stuff, but they're
Good deal.
nice baskets.
Well,
I was like,
I gotta imagine.
I have to bid on those.
Well, I imagine, like, just for the Murderous Night at the Museum, that's got to be an interesting creation basket there, just to
Yeah.
kind of surround that theme.
Yeah.
Which, that is the opening play.
It is also our opening play. We decided to put that one in. The other one kind of fell through, and so that one is taking its place. And
Next man up kind of situation.
Right,
here.
right. So it will open on August 16th, I believe, is the date.
Yeah, I think I'm at the website. Yeah, it's
Okay.
showing August 16th to the
Yeah.
25th. So
Yes.
it'll be that 16th, which I believe is a Friday. Then the
Right.
17th, which is Saturday. Those are evening performances at 7:30. I never get that right. 7:30. I get there at 7. You're on time.
Right.
And then the Sunday matinee there at 2:30.
Right.
And then we'll do it all over again next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Right.
same times. The evening performances Friday and Saturday night at 7:30, and then the Sunday matinee.
Right.
The one-stop shop to get tickets for this, and even links to get tickets for Curtains Rising on the 27th here is you can go to the Community Theater's website, which was roswelltheater.com.
Right.
Spell theater like live theater, THEATRE, not the eater like when you go to a movie theater. Which, by the way, if you don't know how to spell like a movie theater, just put the eater together and
Right.
you spelled it correctly. But spell it the other way. Revert the RE at the end there.
Right.
And you can get tickets. You can also get tickets for the Curtains Rising event at thelibertyinc.com.
Right. And tickets are running out fast.
So get your tickets
get
now.
your tickets
We're only
now.
a couple weeks away from
There's only a few left.
Curtains Rising, literally.
Right.
Is there still time for donations for silent auction and sponsorships? Is there still windows for that, or is that pretty much full at this point?
I'm not sure about that. I think we'll always take nice items.
Yeah, I'm sure if you can, I'll put it up on a table and someone bid on it, you'll
Right,
take it,
we'll
as
take
long as it's appropriate.
Yeah. So yeah, if businesses here in town want to donate to the silent auction,
Contribute, be a part of all,
Right.
and what you're doing is you're supporting the Roswell Community Little Theater in the season here, and they are such a, for folks that don't know, they do more than just put on plays every couple months here. They are very much in the part of the community. They have the CAPS program, their kids arts program. They really work in the community, working with folks to get them opportunities to do things to kids, adults, everyone else. So it's all self-supporting. They have their own facility there, the old Park Twin Theater. They purchased it and converted it several moons ago, and now have been renovating it and updating it, and remodeling as needed. And so all the money, when you come out and have a great dinner and all, it's supporting putting out shows, keeping that facility obtained and maintained, and allowing the next generation of people here in Roswell to enjoy theater and community theater and get to go and enjoy the things. And by the way, it can be quite expensive to put on productions like this, because just take this, the Murderous Night at the Museum. Someone wrote that play.
Right.
Someone, and there's a whole, and you have to give credit and pay where that's due for that. It's no different than when you buy your Amazon Music accounts and all that. You're paying artists and songwriters for their property, their intellectual property. It's no different for community theater.
Right.
When these plays come out, the writers, the creators of these projects get paid for that. That's how they make their living. So it can, and the bigger the play or the bigger the name, the title, usually the more expensive it is. And when you tack on a company like Disney beside it, then it gets really expensive, and it gets really meticulous in the details. And that's the other thing. They when they agree to sign on to do these plays, they have to meet certain obligations.
Right.
Some plays allow you guys a little creative license so you can cut corners to save money if you need to. Others, aren't so luxurious in that need. And they say, no, if it's a blue wall with a blue thing, then you got to make a blue wall with a blue thing. You know what I mean? If the dress calls for this, that's what the dress calls for. And so, each play is different. But when you're supporting and bidding on these items and coming out and enjoying a great play and eating food, you're contributing to these next generations of that too. And if you want to get more involved, they're always looking for volunteers to serve in many roles, from as high as to serving on the board to ushering people to their seats on show night. They need all of the above for those kind of things. And of course they get online, get onto their website. They always have auditions for upcoming plays and things. Keep tabs on some of those, and who knows, maybe you could be the star of one of these productions later on down the road here in this coming season. So, but first things first, get your tickets for Curtains Rising here again, July 27th. What time does everything start there at the Liberty?
I believe doors open at 6:30.
Very good. So get there at 6:30, mingle, have a drink, start bidding on your silent auction.
Right.
And probably around 7 or so, they'll start serving dinner, and then the evening's festivities will kick off from there.
Right.
So, but come ready to have fun. They're always fun. Come start plotting and planning your costume now. Getting your outfits together, historical figures or live art history. Just think of the Night in the Museum movies and characters and themes of those movies. And if you dress in something like that, you're going to fit in quite nicely.
Right.
So,
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it's optional. You don't have to dress up if you don't.
Sure, if you just want to wear your normal attire, by all means. But if you want,
a lot of people ask.
And I imagine you usually do prizes and things for like the best dressed.
There will be a prize for best costume. I think they're doing one for female, one for male.
Excellent.
And so
and then you get a little fun and have some a little fun. And who knows, you could win some great prizes. And of course, bid generously on these silent auction items in the live auction when it happens throughout the course of the evening there. And do you know what the menu is yet? Off the top of your head, what Josh and Liberty have planned?
No, I cannot remember.
Right.
I know there's a chicken dish, a beef dish, and a vegetarian.
A little something for everybody. So if you're a chicken, beef, or veggie person, there's a dish to kind of satiate your desire.
Right.
But definitely. But I know some people are like, ooh, okay, all right, I'm definitely there now. It's steak night or it's whatever night.
Right.
But come out.
I think
and support
it's beef bolognese, and then roasted chicken quarter. I think with vegetables and baby bakers.
If you do rent your costume, wear a bib just in case you don't want to get sauce or anything on that. If you have to return it and you got bouillabaisse all over your Abe Lincoln outfit.
Yeah. Right.
And can we just talk now? And like I said, Murderous Night, the museum's going to kick off right here. August 16th to the 25th. But we are previewing the next season stuff. Talk about some of what's ahead for the 2024-2025 season.
So in October, we have the Canterville Ghost coming, and that is based on an Oscar Wilde story.
Okay.
And the mansion is haunted by this ghost that's not very good at haunting.
So I take it this is a comedy.
It is a comedy.
This is starting to remind me of those is it Geico or one of the commercials where the ghost is in the kitchen and he's like, oh look, a sign that says kitchen. I would have known it if it's for this sign. It's kind of like that.
So the ghost is kind of inept at ghosting, and the family that buys the house has to figure out why this ghost is haunting the house in order to get rid of it.
Set it free.
Yeah. So it's funny. It's comedy. I don't believe the original story was a comedy, but
the live for theater version has been added.
Based on that story is a comedy. And then in January, we have the story Now and Then, which is kind of like a what would have happened if you never lived. Kind of like what is
almost
it?
Like
It's a Wonderful Life
story.
or
a Christmas Carol or something where it's like, this is what happened had you not been here.
Right, or if you had made a different choice.
Sure, the what if game.
Yeah. So that's coming in January. And then we have the Explorers Club, which is the end of March, first week of April.
Okay.
And that is a story about, it's set in late 1800 England.
Okay.
And it's a group of men who have this Explorers Club, and lo and behold, a woman wants to join the club. What do we do? What do we do?
Harumph.
Right. And so, we've never had a woman before, blah, blah, blah. And so,
this is Explorers. Let's explore that option.
Right. So she brings back this native from this unknown tribe, and in that tribe, when they say hello, they slap each other in the face. So she takes him to meet the Queen of England, and this is what happens. He slaps her in the face, and the Queen of England declares war on the tribe, and it's really
that feels very
hijinks.
Mr. Bean-like to me.
It's very funny. Yeah, it's a lot of silliness, but it is kind of, it's got the social commentary of the woman trying to break through the glass ceiling.
To be honest, if you're a fan of like Monty Python-esque type humor, this sounds like this is right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, it's English.
Yeah,
so,
it's definitely got that. That's what I'm thinking, Mr. Bean, and that very much that cheeky humor that they have.
It is.
Yeah.
It's got funny humor.
Yeah, which I love. I'm a fan.
And some good physical comedy.
Good deal.
So
excellent. And they have not selected casts for these yet.
Oh,
so
no,
if you're interested in being part of these, pay attention to the community theater's website for audition times. We'll certainly announce them as we get them here on the morning show. But definitely, and then what I recommend you do if you're interested in definitely wanting to come to some of these shows, or if you're interested in getting more involved as part of the cast or part of the crew of these shows, go to the RoswellTheater.com website. When you get there, there'll be a thing asking for you to kind of put your email in to stay up to date and stay informed on what's going on. I highly recommend you do that. I also recommend, if you're a Facebook user, go ahead and like and follow the Roswell Community Little Theater's Facebook page. That's probably your quickest way to get information on immersive dinners, because every one of these plays usually have an immersive dinner a week or two before the show, and I tell you, every one of these sell out. Most people, before they even find out about it, it's sold out already. So like and follow the page. That way, when it's first announced to the public, that's usually where it's first announced to the public, so you can get first in on that. And if you're not familiar with those, it's the crew, the cast and crew of the particular play serve as your dining staff. They I don't think they cook the food. They have professional chefs, but as far as waiters and your maitre d's and all that side, the service side of it, is the cast and crew, and they're in character. And so they give you nuggets of information leading, especially if it's a mystery or something. You get a lot of insight on maybe who done it a little bit, or maybe a few clues on where to pay attention to when you go to your evening or day of the show and do all that. But and like I said, the dinner's usually themed to the thing, and we have some usually great restaurant partners in the past. I know Pepper's, Sarah's, there's been a few others that have always partnered with you guys to provide excellent meals each time, and that will be the case for this season too. But like and follow the Facebook page. That way you can stay abreast of when those come out first. So if you want to get first dibs, that's the best way to do that. Because I hear it every single time. Someone's like, oh, man, I want it. And it's very space is limited because they do it in the theater. The tables are up on stage. Y'all have seen the stage. There's only so many tables you can get up on that stage. So space is very limited.
But it's very immersive. You get to kind of be in the environment.
It's exclusive. You feel very much like you're in the know. Yeah, and you get wined and dined, literally. And and it's a cool night where you get to enjoy it and have fun with it, interact with the characters, and odds are, we're a small community. You might even know a few of the cast members and get to see them in a different light, painted in a different light than their day job sometimes, and things like that. That's my favorite part of going to community theater and stuff, is see someone like, isn't that the pastor of so and so church, or isn't that? And you're like, and you see them doing something completely out of what you normally see them do, and that's the beauty of community theater is pastor by day, the villain in the play by night. You know what I mean? That's kind of neat to see. People that and friends and respect. Kind of let their hair down and play something different. So that's what community theater is. It's a chance to, and certainly if you're wanting to get your kids more involved and looking for opportunities for them to do stuff, please reach out and ask about the Kids Art Program. Again, go to the website, the Roswell Community Theater's website, RoswellTheater.com. And do your research, and they've got all the information there about all their programs and things if you want to get involved and stuff like that too. So, but July 27th, that is the big thing we need to put on your radars. Come on out for the Curtains Rising, I guess reveal of the upcoming season at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Come, and because in between the play and everything, I believe the director and some of the planning stages of each of these productions will kind of give a synopsis description a little bit of a kind of a sneak peek of their stories that they're going to be presenting to you this season.
And the directors know their play the best, so
Well, that's why
they'll tell you.
Well, and I know kind of peel back how the sausage is made. It, the decisions that are made for these shows are just not we will. This is the board. They come. There's a lot of thought and planning.
Yeah.
Into what shows you're going to do for next. Like, I'm pretty sure the board and those folks are already planning what shows are going to be for the next season, even though we're just unveiling this season.
Right.
They're probably already got a list, a soft list of what they're going to do for next year already here. Because I imagine there's a few that didn't quite make the cut for this year, but there's a real passion to do it. It's like, all right, we'll push it to 2026.
Right.
And so
sometimes that happens.
It does. And that's just it. The directors literally kind of make cases for their plays, right? It's like, I love this play. This is why. And then, of course, they got to sell it to the board. It's like, well, it's not going to be too expensive to produce. It's not, the logistical side of making that play. Because, we'd all love to do,
anything.
One play, but we are limited to money restraints and what you can do in a live theater and what you cannot do in a live theater.
Or what we can do on our stage.
Exactly. It's like we can't have an ensemble cast of 200 people on our stage. You couldn't possibly,
There's 19 members in Murderous Night at the Museum, and it's a lot.
I was saying that's one of your largest casts.
19.
Usually you guys have about 7 to 10 or
normally, some musicals can get up there, 20, 30.
Yeah, because you need a lot of voices to drown out. In musicals, you need multiple people.
Generally, not everybody's on stage at the same time. So, but in this one, we do have a couple of scenes where everybody's on stage. That can get tricky how to block it.
Sure, and that's why the rehearsals and everything is so important. It's not knowing your lines; it's knowing where to stand, and if you're literally a foot off on your mark, it can screw up the whole vibe of the entire scene. It absolutely can. But that's the beauty of live theater, because the other castmates see that and adapt and that's why you go see a show Friday night and then go see again Saturday. There might be differences in the show.
It's a different
just
show,
because live theater happens and things happen. The picture fell off the wall when it wasn't supposed to.
Right.
Someone stumbled up the steps when they didn't mean to. Someone said a line too early or forgot a line.
Or came on too early.
Yeah, all these things happen. And you just roll with the punches. And make and that's where I think that's the fun part of being a part of community theater, because through because usually about we'll say 2 months prior to curtains rising, that's when the heavy lifting of getting this play ready for showtime happens.
Yeah.
And so it's a little boot camp like. And what I mean by that is they got a lot to get done in a month or 2 months
Short
time.
amount of time.
And so they spend a lot of time together. They're going to go through the emotional gauntlet together, from the happiest of moments to the most frustrating of moments, to because that's just it. When you get creative people in a room and they're passionate about their creative, emotions fly. That's what happens, and that's all for the betterment of the project. And so by the time they get to doing it in front of a live audience, they're kind of a well-oiled team, and so they can kind of sense when one's on their game and one's a little off tonight. And when needs support, or when they blew this, I need to come in and support that or make that fit. And that's they build that bond, and it's way different, but not all that different than military and police and stuff. When you get in the foxhole together, you tend to get closer. Even and trying times creates close bonds, and certainly not trying to compare live theater to first responder work, but they do put you emotionally in some of those same states. And so it creates some of those bonds and and to me, that's what makes the play better. And that's what, when you have a cast that knows each other and kind of gets on. I mean, they don't have to love each other, but they at least know what each other's thinking and can kind of fill in or be, okay, I can, maybe not do the part per se, but are familiar with enough to, all right, I need to pivot to keep the story.
The story going.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what makes live theater really cool. So come out to the... so come out to the event on the 27th. Come have an amazing dinner at the Liberty. Come get a sneak peek of the shows. Please bid generously and often on the silent auction and live auction stuff, because all that money goes to support what the community theater, so we can talk about the 2033, the 2233 season or whatever. when who knows, maybe at that point we don't even do it in buildings anymore. We're just in floating bubbles, and who knows. But whatever it is, we want to have a community theater available to do that. So.
Right.
Good deal.
Great.
Is there any other information, anything we wanted to share that I got us sidetracked on or didn't get a chance to
I don't
talk
think
about?
so. I think we've covered it pretty good. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. And come out to the dinner on the 27th. Come meet.
It's gonna be great.
And it's a great chance to meet the directors and meet some of the members of the Community Theater and talk with them outside of getting ready for a show that night. I mean, there'll be a couple getting ready that night because there is presentations and things going on. But a lot of the members are sitting in the audience waiting to be entertained and stuff. So some of the directors and things, it's your chance to talk with them and talk with and who knows, say, man, I love that play, or I remember reading that as a kid. I would love to audition for a part in this play, or this is your chance to talk about these kind of things and or learn more and say, hey, I've got a kid that I want to get them out of their shell. I want them. What can we do to help? And let's sit down and talk about that.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of it. And of course, if you've never been to the Communal Theater, it's a cool place. I mean, you get to go. Yes, if you've been back in the day when it was the Park Twin Theater and you go see movies, it's all melded into one theater now. It's not two movie theaters like it.
Right. Like
it's the Park Twin. But so I think one section is actually the theater part still.
Right.
And then the other side's office spaces and
dressing
rooms and storage for copious amounts of costumes and set things, which to me is the cool part of it. To me, that's like the treasure within the treasure
trove.
Yeah, it's like the community theater and what they do is the mainstay, but by default you're a purveyor of history.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just by default, because people donate old uniforms, old clothing, old furniture, things that are antiques that are still serviceable because they got to sit on a stage. Maybe you don't put them in your house for company, but they sure work great when you're doing a 40s period movie or a play, and it's kind of hard to when you're sitting on IKEA furniture when you're trying to pretend you're in the 40s. You know what I mean? And so that's why. But what happens is this is authentic stuff, and so you've got vases and just knickknacks and clothing, that were from these era periods. I mean, I've gone back and seen military uniforms. Some of that stuff dates back to World War II.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is history.
Actually, we have a World War I helmet.
Yeah. I mean, that's history. I
can't say that we've ever actually used it on stage. We need to
find a play that
I'm going to put it in Explorers Club. It's going to be hanging on the wall.
Hey, maybe that's a.
But even I probably can't because it's 1800s.
Oh yeah, that would work. Maybe one went in the future, like a time machine. But maybe that's the game for this year.
Yeah.
You know how
how many of this stuff? How much of this stuff can we use?
Yeah, how like when they do like the improv stuff and they say, hey, it's sometime of the night you got to work in the word Aloysius or whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe we do this. All right, every director, somewhere in your play, you've got to work in one of these items into the set somewhere, somehow, some way. Maybe that'd be a fun little side thing for them, and you just pick couple of the weirdest, most unique things that are back there, and so throughout and maybe that's the Easter egg for everyone else. When you come out to the play, find the find the item. We could turn this whole thing into a game here. So, but again, that's what community theater is. It's fun, and by the way, if you're looking for a chance to broaden your horizons and your social circles a little bit, I invite you to audition for some of these plays or come out to when they have another improv night or another obviously tent pole play, but even when it's some of the side stuff, some of the monthly events or quarterly events that always happen at the community theater, please come out to these and get involved and meet some people. And who knows, maybe you're the next star of the next play. Maybe you're the star of the Explorers. Maybe it's you up there with the pot on your head or whatever doing the thing. That's what's cool about
Painted blue.
Yeah. It's like when you say Explorers, for some reason, and this is maybe my age, and I instantly go to the old late 70s, early 80s movie Time Bandits. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Where it was a bunch of little people that would like travel through time. But they were all dressed like from different, like one's dressed up almost like a World War I pilot, the other's dressed up and they're costumed from different eras and stuff.
Okay.
So when I hear the Explorers, in my head I've got like guys in like these coats and the
think older.
Yeah, some guy with a top hat and a monocle eyepiece. Yeah, I mean, and they're all British and they're all very gentlemanly. But they all one looks like kind of like he's been hanging out in the North Pole or something. Kind of got like a big parka. Like there's a like the Village People of these people in my head.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's nothing like that, but that's what I envision. So, some guy with a leather helmet or a leather pilot helmet, something like that.
Yeah.
One in every crowd there. But anyway, come out July 27th at the Liberty is the Curtains Rising event. You can get your tickets right now at the Communal Theater's website, Roswell Theater, spell theater THERE.com, or you can get tickets for the Curtains Rising event at thelibertyinc.com. You can also check out their upcoming shows and events too and get tickets there. By the way, you can learn about becoming a member at the Liberty while you're there too. But also note, all these concerts that they have there, you do not have to be a member to go to those. You just have you can get tickets on the website. Now, if you want to go to some of their exclusive events, like they'll have like a tasting night or Halloween or holiday party.
Right.
Those are members only.
Right.
But when they do their country concerts or various shows, they're open to anybody. So, thelibertyinc.com. Sorry, I had hiccups there. I was fighting through hiccups. Thelibertyinc.com. You can go and get tickets for the Curtains Rising event here. Again, it's July 27th, 6:30 p.m. Doors open at the Liberty. Get your tickets. Come get the sneak preview of the upcoming season for the Roswell Communal Theater. Come out and bid on some great auction items. And who knows? Maybe you just found your next passion or hobby or interest for the rest of your life, for the next couple of years at least.
Yeah,
good deal.
For sure.
Well, as always, appreciate the visit. And
Thank you.
now you give them a hard time for all the people that were supposed to be with you
That were supposed to be
today.
here that didn't show up.
That's right. Give them a hard time.
Oh, we should probably mention our sponsors real quick.
Yes,
if we
please
could
do.
That.
Please do.
So, of course, we have the Liberty who has partnered with us.
Awesome.
And so we also have Vogel Limited, B.A. Coots, Swickard Agency, Berkshire Hathaway, Anderson Bethany, Squirrel Marketing, Taylor and Associates. I know I'm forgetting somebody.
You always do.
I always do.
But a lot of these names you hear time and time again are not only for the communal theater, but other service organizations within our community as well, them stepping up and doing that stuff. So it's great to see that they're partnering again. And I know some of these sponsors in the past, not only monetarily, but, donating of items for sets and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I know like Anderson Bethany, because most people don't have things like coffins laying around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you need some of those types of things for a play and urn or something like that, they tend to have a few of those laying around to borrow or use for something.
Well, I think last year we borrowed a hearse or something.
Yeah. See, that's really cool. Or like they'll donate like I know in the past, like some of the Christmas trees and things used for, I think Berkshire Hathaway was donating the monies for all that kind of stuff.
They bought
these supporters
trees,
go above and beyond just cutting a check every year. They physically get involved with the with the goings and comings of the community little theater. So we're very thankful for these.
Yep. So thanks to our sponsors, we appreciate all of them.
Absolutely.
And
you're the reason the doors keep
opening. I can't remember
opening.
that other one, but
We'll get them by the time we come in next time. We'll have
right.
them. And here's the thing: these organizations don't do it for the recognition. They do it because they love what the theater represents and love the people that are involved with it, and they want to support that. And that's we'd love to thank them and get them as public recognition as much. But I can guarantee to each company person there, none of them are doing it for the shout out. They're doing it because they have a passion for the product.
Right.
So that's what it is. So thank you to our sponsors.
Yep.
Come on out, see it for yourself. Come have an amazing meal with us at the Liberty on the 27th.
Southwest Printers.
Southwest Printers. Thank you.
Knew it would come to me.
There
Sorry.
you go. And we're glad we had before the end of the thing there.
Sorry.
I imagine they do quite a bit too as
They
printers.
do. They help us a lot.
They probably do everything from helping out with from the programs to any screen printing or T-shirts and that kind of stuff needs. And so 'cause whenever you have an event and you invite people to it, there's a lot of printing needs.
There's a lot of printing needs.
Just from event night to promotional stuff. So, but big thank you to them. But thank you as always, Alethea, and we'll see you next time. And we'll get people, we'll get you back in as we get closer to opening night for the first show of the season, Murderous Night at the Museum. And invite people to come out. We'll get maybe some of the cast in to come in and do,
that'd be great.
Yeah, have some fun and do what we do.
I am in the cast.
Are you in the cast on this one?
I am in the cast.
Who's our director for this one?
So our director is Dan Coleman. It's his debut directorship.
His debut directorship.
Yeah. So as a full director, and he's doing a great job. It's going to be wonderful.
So is Dan just directing?
He's
not
just
doing
directing.
a dual role, director and serves the, because sometimes, not often,
sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it does happen where you have to wear multiple hats in theater. It does
as of right now, no, that's not happening, but it could.
Good deal, but
you never know.
And and you said this is one of your larger casts on this.
It is. There's 19 of us.
19. So that's going to be cool.
A lot.
Well, I imagine it makes sense because if the scene is something like the Smithsonian Museum or something like that, you've got to. That's a big world. You got to create on that stage. And a museum is full of larger than life artifacts.
Right. We do have a full size sarcophagus.
Wow.
Yes, it's great.
Golly.
Yeah.
Any skeletons or bones or anything?
I can't give away any secrets.
Oh. Kill me. I understand.
You'll have to come see it.
Come
Mike.
see it for yourself. Come. But definitely. And again. August 16th is opening night there for that. Again, RoswellTheater.com. You can get your tickets for all of these shows that we're talking about for the upcoming season and everything else and kind of get a sneak peek. And then come out 27th. Come grub down on some delicious eats. Come bid on some awesome silent auction and auction items. And come see what's in store for the 2024-2025 season at the Roswell Community Theater.
Yep.
Good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am. And we'll see you guys next time. We're going to get Dan in here in the next week or two to get him talking about his play, too.
Yeah.
So, good deal. All right, it is 8:54. Man, time is flying. It's almost 9 o'clock already. What happened? Let's do this. Let's pause for Lou Dobbs and a quick commercial break before news. Don't go away.
Are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Nikki Haley through her support behind one-time rival Donald Trump.
President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name